Look, all I'm saying is there's only one Necron detachment that's under 60% for win rate. That's it.
Hello,
That's all I'm gonna
everybody,
say.
and welcome to Stat Check episode 171. This is Yriel came back from getting smokes. It is the 10th of February 2026, and we're here to talk about all things Warhammer. That mostly means we're here to talk about like one thing Warhammer, and then also some new data sheets that came out. You're going to stop us if you sound like a broken record, because we're getting tired of it too. So we're hoping that, you know, if we just keep making a fuss, eventually something has to happen, right?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Sure.
We're
Whatever you say.
manifesting this week on Stat Check. That's what it is. I should probably ping the Discord that we're live. Actually, Nathan, could you do that? I don't have hands.
I can do it.
that
You
would be
don't
nice.
have hands. That sounds
don't have
awkward for
hands.
everybody
There's-
involved.
Lost them in the Necron Wars.
Lost them in the Necron Wars. I'm Innes. I'm joined by Nathan and Anthony. We're here this week on Stat Check to talk mostly about Necrons, as well as some new Chaos Space Marine and Eldar datasheets. We've got a whole of January to talk about. We've got comparisons to previous metagames. We're going to talk about just how bad, with a month of data, we think the Necron problem really is, because I think you guys haven't heard enough of it. You guys aren't sick of it yet. Let's start off with these a bit. Anthony, how's your Warhammer been this week? Let's start early.
Dude, my Warhammer has been great. I'm having a lovely time playing the fastest TTS games I've ever played against the best competition that's ever been available. So I'm having a lovely time. But I would argue that perhaps most of the opponents that I play, not so much. To reiterate something I said via text form earlier, I, as our resident flavor of the month reroller once upon a time, and in the modern era player of largely pretty fucked up stuff, this is hands down the most powerful thing that I've played since Light Harlequins. It is roughly equivalent in my experience, except that the games are faster than Light Harlequins because I don't pretend to hide. Yeah,
it's nearly as many dice.
Yeah, way less dice. Way less consideration about my army mechanic. It kind of just happens. I don't have to think about luck dice. Broadly, just a much lower skill ceiling or higher floor, whatever. This is.
And I've never understood how those people use those to mean everything, right?
Yeah, I agree. Hands down, the strongest thing that I have played, probably in my time playing 40k at this point, because I would say that it is roughly equivalent to Harley's, when it is much easier to play and it's a lot faster, and you know what's up pretty quick into the games. Whereas,
so basically, it feels a lot like Crusher Stampede, which
I mean, I played some Crusher, not a ton, but this is worse than that in a lot of ways. Yeah.
I don't disagree with Crusher felt a lot like that as well, though.
So yeah, I'm having a great time. You know, me, Anthony, killing it, crushing it. Every single other person that I have to play so far, less fun. But last week was Pantheon week. Now it's Shatter week for testing. So maybe this week will be longer games that I can.
You can't just battle for people off the objectives trivially anymore.
Yeah, I have to just kill them with my much faster army instead.
But fucking, they can stand on the ground circles against you this week. They couldn't last week.
That's right. They can stand on some of the ground circles this week. We'll see.
Yeah,
I've tried to
on the ground circles
before the game starts and after about an hour in. I confirm with every opponent that they can, in fact, just put 5 OC on the objective, and then, insofar as I'm aware, I'm meant to just lose. Hasn't happened yet, but I'm sure eventually it will. So yeah, I'm doing great.
How many points have been stripped off of you is the real question.
In diff points?
Yeah, how many diff points?
We have a spreadsheet for this. Hold, please.
This is what I'm really...
It's going to be a lot of like 40-minute 18-2s, right? Where it's like, yep, nothing I can do. That's it, right?
In my last... What is this? 7. I've dropped... That's 3. That's 6. And that's 9. So... Something like that. That's what? 3, 6... So that's 18 in my last 7.
It's pretty good.
Averaging a 17-3.
One of those is an 11 for what it's worth, which is responsible for most of that.
Yeah, but that's
was that
nuance, Anthony.
Yeah. What'd you say?
What was that, the mirror?
No, the 11 was a Game of the Sisters.
Sure.
You know, one of the counters for Necrons.
One of the armies that can just about kill. and actually can pass the leadership test on the ground circles, right? Like that is a thing they can do. They don't just lose because they can just like sub a 6 and roll a 2 up. That's not that bad compared to other armies.
Dude, maybe it doesn't get crazy, but also maybe it does.
Certainly all can get crazy. Nathan, how about yourself on how you getting on?
I'm doing great. I did nothing over the weekend, which was fantastic.
Sounds good.
I primed and xenophalled up and got a bunch of chaos models ready to start the Trim Wars, which will be me painting Trim for the next 500 years.
Nice.
I finished reading the Black Legion series.
Yay!
And as much as I enjoyed it, I was like, Aaron Dembski Bowden has like a way of writing. And the protagonist of the Black Legion series is the most anime character that has ever existed.
Oh yeah, that guy's bullshit.
He's got
that story's about the people around him.
It's just very funny to read the book, and he's got his Dark Eldar waifu sitting next to him, and his large angry demon panther, and he's always right. So it's fine. It's great.
Well, it's also told from his perspective, right? Every Thousand Suns player I met speaks the same way about themselves.
I don't disagree. It is very funny to think of it as like the most unreliable narrator, and that is the only way that book jives in my brain, because otherwise it's just Chaos was right the whole time while massacring the 50th like innocent civilian.
Look, innocence is relative, dude.
True. But yeah, other than that, things are going great. New job is great.
Yay!
You guys are always getting new jobs.
I know, always getting new jobs.
Hopefully not anymore.
No, hopefully not. I have a year contract for this job before renewal, so we'll see how it goes first. But hopefully not needing to would be great. Innes, how are you doing?
It's been a weird week. I had a not great. These cats, goddamn monsters. That's the main thing. And my lungs are the victim. That's the big thing. So I had a tough week last week. Didn't get to do as much as I wanted to, but it's been all right. Otherwise, I had Nos over for dinner, and then got absolutely rolled by Grizzle Company. The usual. Just like, I don't know, man. I got punched to death by Grizzle Company as Black Templars. I was just like, so it's probably fine. What could go wrong here? You get charged by like a Scion brick. You're on an objective. Norks in it. You're just like, I guess I am just dead.
You know what's really fun, and I'm sure this has been part of the experience for you with Templars, is that like you play it, right, and you're doing well, things feel good, you're like, oh, my fun little pet project is working, yay, and then you play like something in the top 3 and you're like, oh man,
it'd be really good if like Scintillating Legion and Guard didn't exist. Like, it's not bad into Catan, and it can certainly play it.
It's better than most things.
Better than most is, like, look, if you catch them on a bad day, if they roll, like, only a little above average, you're going to beat the shit out of them. If they go above that, like, that's between them and the Star Gods, right? Like, nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
Right? You can't kill a Catan that passes all its saves. That's just not how it works. But if a Catan passes, like, only, like, 75% of its saves and 40% of its 5 field pains, you'll kill it. Which is great. Not a lot of armies get to say that, right?
Yeah. All you have to do is also connect with everything cleanly. It's fine. No agency in that on the Satan player side whatsoever.
Movement 6 army, the advancing charges. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, dude.
Look, there is a lot of things that can go wrong. But I've been playing a bunch of that. Been playing a little bit of GSC again, a little bit of Tyranids, just spreading my agency out and being like, maybe one day GSC will get a buff again and I'll feel good about myself. And
you can go home, dude.
I won't. But Eric went 5-0 at a tournament with Outlander Claw, and I was like, well, I guess I'll try it. And then I put into Recon Guard, and it was the funniest set of mortar interactions I've ever had, and never seemed to matter. And then I one-tapped a Storm Raven on turn 1 in a game. That was good fun. There is something about being like, Lion's not in for a field up in yet, is he? And we're playing Search and Destroy. This bike squad's gonna, touch you somewhere the sun doesn't shine.
Dude, I root against Storm Ravens every single time unless they're on my team.
And even then, you're like, I hope the Storm Raven dies turn 1 at U20 anyway.
That would be ideal, but I don't root for that because it might not happen. And then as a
general reminder, you did write a Storm Raven list that did very well at a tournament.
Yep, but I was on that list's team.
That's fine. Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yeah.
And then I got a new tattoo, which was cool.
Whoa! Blood Moon.
Nice.
Yep, no one else gets to have fun. I've got a blood moon and a gene circle tattoo. So if you don't know that I hate fun,
No joy
So-
for my opponents.
that's where we're at right now. Yeah, I go home in a week. A week tomorrow, I get to go home and sleep in a bed
Woohoo.
again. I've been sleeping on Brian's sofa because it doesn't have like soft. It has no furnishings. Therefore, the cat hair can't get in my lungs. So it's a leather sofa. It's been.
I mean, that
I don't
couch is comfy as fuck, dude.
It is comfy as fuck. Yeah, it's a lot better. When I was waking up like 4 times a night coughing in the bed. I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna stop doing that. We're just gonna sleep on the sofa.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. Trying to think if there's anything else interesting that's happened. No, sign up for tournaments. I have an RTT this weekend. I'm going to borrow something of Brian's. I've not decided yet. Probably going to play Thousand Suns because I don't want to play Tau because I'm not playing Orcs. So Thousand Suns seems like, and I looked at his Eldar collection, and his Eldar collection is like
The wrong
8th
stuff.
edition models. Yeah. He's got like 5 Swooping Hawks and 5 War Spiders and no Phoenix Lords that are on the right.
All
places.
of those things that you just said are all converted out of autarchs, though, so
Yep.
they look fly as fuck.
Oh, they're cool as hell. Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. So there is the option. I could play Serpent's Brood, I think, with what's there, which could be interesting because it would be fun to try it.
You'd have the most nicely painted Harlequin army, perhaps of all time. So
yeah, and it would be like it's just an RTD, right? Like, how bad could it be?
It
But
would
then
also
I thought about transporting and using Brian's Eldar models, and that gave me like minor hull palpitations.
yeah, the thing with those Harlequins is that they've never seen a tournament game. So
So if I use them,
at least they're getting used, you know.
at least they're getting used. So yeah, it's very likely that. Then I decide I'm playing for Manchester, and I'm mad because I just can't be fucked playing Necrons, and I'm struggling like because I want to stick to my promise for this year to just play the best army, but the idea of playing Necrons just fucking bores me to tears.
I mean, there are 2 armies with realistic game into Necrons.
Yeah, I know, and I could very easily play Blades again, and I could definitely play Grizzled if I could borrow it, and I'm like. Can I be fucked trying to figure out how to borrow it? Like, because if I was gonna play Guard, I would want to play the like 200 model version because I'm a psychopath like that. And
Okay.
borrowing that just doesn't sound fun.
I mean, you definitely can. Doesn't Brian have guard?
Yeah, but I don't think he has the right kind of guard or enough of that kind of guard.
I think you can play like a Bulgrin shaped guard without any issue.
But I don't think I want to play Bulgrin. I don't think I'm very good right now.
That's insane. But
I don't know. I've not been impressed with Bulgrin
yeah, Bulgrin are bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Bulgrin
gaslight
bad,
everyone
don't
when I
play
show
him.
up with RCO. That's
No one should play Bulgrin at all ever. I agree.
Okay, let me put it this way: all my testing recently has been against Gustavo, Nas, and Scott, all of whom hate Bulgrin at this point. So
Look,
I'm just like,
I'm on board. If people
don't
don't want to
feel-
take him, that's fine. This is like Fuegan when Eldar came out. It's cool with me if you don't want to do it. No problem.
entirely fair.
I'm just picking
Well,
up what's
like,
left
should
of
I-
my teeth from the last time I had to play Bulgrin. Don't mind me.
Like, just Shadowkeep. You're just trying to Shadowkeeper's Gambit the metagame. It's great.
Dude, sure, we can pretend that's what's happening here. Not that I'm genuinely terrified of having to play against Bulgrin that my Catan never kill their way out of. No
we've
problem,
had
bro.
very, very different experiences recently. I had 5 of them just get aced by a Transcendent Catan. I was very upset.
Yeah, look, that's technically possible.
Wasn't a good feeling. Should I come to Vegas and borrow stuff from you and Ben? Isaac, I'm considering doing LVO again this year because it's been a year since I've done it, and I feel like I can justify Vegas like once every 2 years. But I'm just not sure. Like, I'd be doing it to hang out with Ben's, right? Like, that's the real answer.
Yeah, we can surely find a better way to do that.
That's probably also true. Oh, and thank you to Zipster for the 20 Danish kroner. Wait, I'm live. Hi, mom and dad.
Hello.
Hi to Zipster, mom and dad. All right, Nathan, do you want to talk to us about some stats?
Yeah, I'd love to disappoint everybody.
Here
With
we go.
stats real
Like
quick.
me.
All right.
I'm not going to disappoint Anthony.
Yeah, I'm
There
gonna be
were
super
six-
excited.
There were 16 events over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The number one performing faction from the weekend is Deathwatch by win rate.
Yeah, boy.
There were exactly 6 people playing them. With no event winners, 1 top 4, 1 top 10. They made up less than 1% of the overall meta. They had a 2.34 over rep though because there are so few of them, and they had a 65% win rate.
I feel like if someone doesn't breach 10 players, we should just put them in the bin, right?
I usually do, but I didn't want to talk immediately about Necrons. So
Yeah. Oh,
we
got
had
it.
to have a Necron buffer.
there's a
Here we
Necron
go.
buffer. All right. And then Necrons are the second best.
Yeah.
They had 84 players. They won 6 events. They had 13 top 4s.
How many events were there this weekend, Nathan?
16.
16. They won almost half of them. 13 top 4s, 34 top 10s, and they had a 9% meta representation. They made up 20% of all top 4s. And they had a 2.18 over rep and a 62.9% win rate. So,
Holy fucking moly, dude. Let's go. Reclaim the stars, my dead kings.
Yep, it's fine. Everything's fine. In third place was Custodes, who won 2 events, had 6 top 4s, 11 top 10s. They made up about 4.3% of the meta. They have a 2.16 over rep because of it, though, because they didn't have a lot of them, but they did top 4 a lot, and they had a 56% win rate.
Why are Custody guards so cheap?
I hope Custodes catch it just like unfair. I hope Custodes cop it worse than Crons, just so Folger screams.
I don't understand why guard are 150 points for 4.
I don't know either, bud. It's a good question.
I think that would be much less problematic if armies that countered them really well, like, some of the things that are perhaps being oppressed by the other thing that we talked about a minute ago.
Yeah.
Sure, but even then, it's still just an unholy number of models with a 2-up armor save, 4 vulnerable save, and 3 land raiders.
The game is so far past that army doesn't even register as durable in my mind. Like, anything else that I play just dusts that, so I'm just like, yeah, huh?
All right. Thousand Suns are in 4th. They had 28 people. And they didn't win any events. They did top 4 or 5 events. They did have 5 top 4s, 10 top 10s. They had a 3% meta representation and a 2.5 over rep with a 55.4% win rate. So Thousand Suns are doing fine. Good.
That's solid. That's good.
Yeah.
Actively good.
Actively quite good. I don't think anyone's surprised. The army's been on the up. It turns out getting nerfed never mattered, and every Thousand Sun player was a whinging bitch for no reason.
It's true. And then in 5th place is Gene Stealer Cult. 15 players. They had 2 top 4s, 5 top 10s. They made up 1.7% of the meta essentially and had a 1.88 over rep and a 55% win rate. They're doing fine.
I don't get it.
That's fine.
And then if we discount Death Watch, we round up the top 5 with Sisters, who had 26 players. They didn't win any events, but they had 2 top 4s, 5 top 10s, and a 1.08 over rep and a 54% win rate. It's fine. Respectable.
That's quite good.
At the bottom, ignoring Imperial Agents, who had a 33% win rate.
Just not a real faction.
Not a real faction. Eldar, the worst faction currently in the game. 32 players, a single top 4, 4 top 10s. They have a 0.44 over rep and a 38% win rate, which is pretty bad. That's not good.
That's quite low. But they won an event?
They top 4'd once.
Didn't
Good for
Axel
them.
win an event?
Yes, with the fire prisons, but maybe it wasn't big enough. Maybe it was like
either wasn't big enough or it wasn't on BCP's scrape. So
it definitely might have been on Vesla.
If it was on Vesla, then I did not get it.
There you go. Boom. Suck it, Eldar. You're still too good.
I could have sworn that it was on BCP though.
It didn't get caught in the player count scrape.
I'm gonna go find it.
You go find it. Grey Knights are second from the bottom. Oh, he came in 3rd. Is what Easy Peasy says.
Simply undefeated then.
Yep.
Just undefeated.
Which is the top 4 then. Grey Knights had a 40% win rate and 1 top 10 for a 0 over rep. Leagues of Votan had 20 players with a 42.5% and a single top 10. So they have 0 for over rep because they have no top 4s. And then Chaos Space Marines did win a GT sized event. They got 2 top 4s, 2 top 10s. They have a 0.85 over rep and a 43.5% win rate.
He went 4-1 3rd place.
Okay.
Got it.
Then the data's fine. Imperial Knights run out the bottom 5, 16 players, 1 top 10 to their name, and a 45% win rate. And a 0 for overrep because they didn't get any top 4s. So that's the data from this last week. Now we're going to grab detachment data because I know everybody loves detachment data.
Before we get too far, where did all the event wins go? So Necrons got 6 of them.
So Necrons got 6, Custodes got 2. Oh, Astra Militarum, I totally forgot about them. They got 2 of the event wins. They had a 53.3% win rate, a 1.9 overrep, which is an astounding amount of overrep.
Yeah, for guard especially.
And they had 2 event wins, 7 top 4s, and 10 top 10s, and they made up 5.6% of the meta. Tau won an event. They had a 1.3 overrep and a 51.3% win rate. They also had 4 top 4s and 8 top 10s. Orcs won an event, which was their top 4, which gives them a 0.46 for overrep and a 50% win rate. AdMech won an event. They had 2 top 4s, 2 top 10s, a 1.56 overrep, and a 50.56 win rate. Space Marines won an event. They had 4 top 4s, 13 top 10s, and a 0.73 overrep for 40.
Come on, guys. We buffed Space Marines already. The Army's so terrible.
EC are the last event winner after that grouping. They won a single event. They got 2 top 4s, 3 top 10s, and they had a 0.74 overrep and a 45.5% win rate.
That's the EC I know and love. Still picking up an event win with a 45% win rate. Attaboy.
Yep.
EC looking like the new Space Marines.
Yeah.
Can't have a win rate, but can win tournaments.
I mean, that's just the shit John likes, dude. That's the Lennon effect, baby.
All right.
It's incredible how much Necrons need to be desperately nerfed.
The oppression of the entire metagame by them is insane.
Yeah. Do you have damage too? Fuck off and die. It seems to be the way this metagame is trending towards. How dare you try to put damage 2 on the table?
Yes and also no, right? Like Custodes is a lot of damage too.
I feel like Custodes get away with it because they have so much shit. But also, what is the Custodes versus Necrons head-to-head matchup like? I can't imagine it's great.
It can't be good.
It can't be good, right? Oh, you're gonna run these Land Raiders into the fucking Catan
4-up circus.
Yeah, you're gonna get one good crack with those last cannons, and then that's gonna be it. Yeah, no, I don't think it's good. So I wanted to. Could you pull out those 4-week win rate stats we were talking about earlier, Nathan? The ones that are in the thumbnail for anyone who's to go and have a look at them.
I just want you to. I want to do the detachment win rates real quick.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because it'll be awful for everyone, and I want you all to suffer with me.
Are we starting with the Skeleton Kings?
So we're going to start at the bottom with Necrons.
Okay.
One detachment has a 0% win rate. It is Canoptic Court. It had 4 games to its name.
I'd have dropped 2.
Yeah.
Fair enough, Canoptic Court, man.
The next one after that is Cursed Legion, which had 75 players and a 59.33.
So you lied to us at the start of the show.
I did.
That's 2 detachments below 60%.
I mean, I fucking guessed, dude.
I guess. It's 0.67 off. I thought it was fine.
Well, I'm also just not including the Canoptic Court stats in the data because that's 1 player.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. Obeisance Phalanx had 1 player who went 60. Hypercrypt then has a 60 with 10 players. Awakened then has a 60.24% win rate with 83 players.
This is not trending well.
So many players.
Star Shatter has 134 players and a 63.8.
That's so much.
Cryptech
those numbers are too high.
Cryptech Conclave had 11 players and a 68.2. And Pantheon of Woe had 95 players. Those are games, Nathan. 95 games, sorry, folks. And a 70.53% win rate.
75.
70.5. Just to be clear.
Okay. Wow, that's so much better.
That is, to be fair, that is better, but not a lot.
I don't know how you get a win rate this high. Is the honest answer to this question, aside from being absolutely broken.
Yeah, Just believe the evidence of your eyes, folks. Especially if you live in America. But in general, just believe the evidence of your eyes. No one is lying to you. These armies are just broken. If you take them, you will win. That's it. It's never been more true in 10.
The average Pantheon of Woe player goes 3-1 on 1.
Yeah.
The average Pantheon of Woe player goes most people's goals at tournaments.
Yep.
There's 2 other stats I wanted to talk about real quick. from this last week. So T-WIP is the other measure of how people get into position to win events. It literally means tournaments in winning position. Necrons make up almost 30% of T-WIP at the moment. They're like 27% of it.
Yeah, it's just folks in the finals.
And while making up a 9%, so they triple their representation in T-WIP. Yeah,
I was looking at like the Goonhammer showdown, because Goonhammer like does for their articles, they do like the showdown articles, and they were like, it was like you can vote on which ones you want to be if you're in the Goonhammer Discord, and the showdown this week was like for the top fours. For day 2 and day 3, right? They have 9 tournament finals listed here: Pantheon versus Awakened, Starshatter versus Scintillating, Curse Legion v Coterie, Grizzled versus Rubric, Phalanx, Grizzled versus Gladius, Starshatter versus Rage Cursed, Awakened versus Starshatter, Pantheon versus Grizzled, Forge Fathers, Seekers versus Reaper's Wager. So 2 that did not include Necrons in that set.
They average their first loss in round 3 as well. That's where they average. It's 2.6, but
that means
right
round
that.
Yeah, you can't lose in the second and a half round, dude. If you fucking take an L at lunch, I guess.
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah, it's a drop between lunch. That counts. That's the cliff whip, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Massage in winning position.
Yeah. That's where you and your opponent split it, because Cliff also buys you a massage. Yeah. All right. Now the 4-week rolling data. So I did this because I was morbidly curious more than anything else.
Because we now have 4 weeks of data since NECRONS released, right? That's the reason we're looking at this.
That's essentially where we're at. So I think the idea is we're going to contextualize this to the history of how 10th edition has
That's
done.
what I'm about to show everyone after you talk.
So I'm going to read off some things about where we're at. I guess I can just go through all of the factions. It's fine. Necrons are the best performing faction sorted by win rate. They have 15 event wins, 39 top 4s, 94 top 10s, a 7.7% meta representation. They make up 14.3% of top 4s for a 1.86 over rep. And they have a 59.4% win rate.
Not 60. Balanced meta. Boom, nailed it.
Just barely under 60%.
Perfectly fine. No nerfs needed here.
They are notably the only faction aside from Deathwatch who are above the 55 to 45. And Deathwatch are 0.5 over it and have 34 players.
And that's just Desolation Marine's fault again, right? Like, it's all it is.
It is, yeah. That's a lot of that.
Deathwatch does have 3 event wins and 4 top 4s, 6 top 10s, and a 1.54 over rep, but mostly because their meta representation is abysmal. Thousand Suns are in third. They have 2 event wins, 16 top 4s, 33 top 10s. They make up 3% of the meta, 5.8% of top 4s, and a 1.88 over rep with a 54.5% win rate. Astra Militarum are in fourth. They have 9 event wins, 25 top 4s, 48 top 10s. They make up 5.8% of the meta, 9.2% of top 4s. So they have a 1.59 over rep, and they make up they have a 54.4% win rate. Gene Stealer Cult are up next. They have 1 event win, 5 top 4s, 11 top 10s. They make up 1.55% of the meta. They have a 1.19 over rep and a 54.2% win rate. Custodes got both of their event wins this last weekend. They have 16 top 4s, 37 top 10s. They make about 3.74% of the meta. They have a 1.57 over rep and a 53% win rate. Sisters are next. They have 1 event win, 8 top 4s, 14 top 10s. They make up 2.55% of the meta and have a 1.17 over rep and a 52% win rate. Wow, this is going to take longer than I thought. Chaos Demons are next. They have 1 event win, 7 top 4s, 22.
Start doing the win rates over the past 4 weeks for the next ones. That we've done the top set.
Right. So Chaos Demons have a 52. Tau have a 50.8. They are notably have 4 event wins. Drukhari have no event wins and a 50.35. Space Marines have 5 event wins and a 49.68. Blood Angels have 4 event wins and a 49.67. Space Wolves have 3 event wins and a 49.63. Death Guard have 1 event win and a 48.87. Chaos Knights have no event wins and a 48.5. Admech have 2 and a 48.5. Dark Angels have 1 event win and a 48.4. Orcs have 3 event wins and a 47.7. Tyranids have 1 event win and a 47.64. World Leaders have 1 event win and a 47.5. Leagues of Otan have a single event win and a 47.1. Grey Knights have no event wins and a 46.7. Black Templars have no event wins and a 46.2. Emperor's Children have 3 event wins and a 46.2. Imperial Knights have 2 event wins and a 45.3. Eldari have 1 event win and a 44.6. And then Chaos Space Marines have 2 event wins and a 44.06. And then Imperial Agents are all the way at the bottom. They have no event wins, no top 4s, no top 10s, and a 31.9% win rate. That is out of 3,553 players. That is 68 events. Necrons have won 15 out of 68. They have 39 out of 270 something top 4s, and then they have 94 out of 680 top 10s.
Sick. So remind me again what the Necrons 4-week win rate was as I show up this screen. As I screen share.
59.38.
59.38. So I thought we would just have a look here at every time this edition that something's gone above 60% and just have a look at what we're looking at. So we're working with Release Imperial Knights, GSC, and Eldar.
Yep.
That one time where Chaos Space Marines were really stupid when like Liam won LGT.
Small window.
Liam won LGT. GSC again. A little bit of Space Wolf time, which good for them. A little bit of Drakari time, good for them. GSC again. Death Watch when Hertel won LVO. Release Emperor's Children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is the comparisons that we're working. Remember Release Emperor's Children where the army just had like 200 points more than it does now, where it's completely fine.
Yeah, that was Release EC was a trip.
Yeah, and then Admech when Siegler won WCW, and then Chaos Demons right now with Scintillating Legion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, even like thinking back on some of the other most busted fucking things this edition, like more DACA and Death Guard and like Chaos Knights are getting up there, and Death Guard are getting up there here to like mid 50s. Now, part of that is because they were all playing at the same time as each other, right? I don't want to.
DACA was also a super short window, right?
Yeah, DACA wasn't even a month. But what I'm saying is like DACA didn't even hit these numbers.
Right.
DACA was like here-ish. DACA didn't even come close to those numbers, and it got nerfed in like 3 weeks.
Yep. And this is the 4-week running data since we started having events, basically after December. So the dashboard is updated, I think, through the end of last year, and then like a couple weeks into January. So we don't quite have the 4 weeks for the rolling average there.
So this data will update. People have been asking in chat a little bit, but I'll share. Jeremy's been on a working abroad for a couple of weeks, so the data is not updated since the 22nd January. So if you're looking at the meta dashboard stats, that will not be it. We are, I believe, in the process of getting that updated.
It should be done this weekend. Yeah.
So expect to be able to play about with the dashboard again. And again, we're working on the processes to get this stuff updated more consistently and quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know what to say other than this is about as bad as the worst it's ever been for a detachment, and it's doing it while like Thousand Suns and Chaos Space Marine, or Thousand Suns and Space Marines and Custodians and Guard are also just kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I mean that's the part that I've kind of just like not been saying much about.
It's just like nothing boxed. Like there's also these other 3 fucked armies in Guard and Space Marines.
The thing that's like particularly fucked about this exact scenario is that like, if we go backwards through time, there are some instances of things being fucked through other things being fucked, right? We saw it a little bit in the beginning of the edition where Eldar were unstoppable gods, but beneath them, very close, was, the release GSCs, the release other shit.
Chaos Space Marines,
yeah. Release CSM was something. It's just like the way in which a game of Pantheon unfolds is that you get one try. And if that one try is not even average, just like successful, let's say, you're fucked. You lose right then in a singles perspective. I could have finished most of these games that I'm playing that have already been fast, even faster if they were singles, because there's just like, oh, there's no hope. Let's see if you could score a 5. And then we get, a turn cycle later and we're like, nope, and we move on.
There's also the degree that, like, in the environment right now, the way that the top 4 armies are good is so disparate as well. Like, the way that Guard is good is insane OC and board control, very good, like, alpha strike speed, and it almost always hits you first because it's either coming out of a transport or coming from reserve.
Yep.
The way that Catan is good is that it just stands in front of you and says, "You won't kill me."
Also
And
fast.
Also
Most
very
of it flies.
fast. You usually get first touch at Catan, at least. Usually. You usually get the
Depends if
first
you're playing
crack.
Pantheon.
Doesn't mean if it works, but
Yeah.
you usually get at least the first attempt. Into some of the Star Shatter builds and things like that, less guaranteed. And into Pantheon builds, you're going to get shot first a lot of the time because your contenders are going to be on top of you.
Yep.
But you'll usually get the first like big swing. Into Blades of Ultramar, you're just kind of like hoping that the 2-up save AOC vehicles and the infinite rerolls army doesn't
Plus
kill
one
you
wound.
with +1 to wound. It doesn't kill you, which is like unlikely. That list is very capable of adapting itself to be good at
Whatever
killing a
it
lot of different
needs.
things.
Yep.
It can't kill everything. It has to pick a little bit, but it can pick most things. And then scintillating is just like indirect and also 4 up and vulnerable saves. Did you bring AP because of these other armies in the metagame? Fuck you,
What a
dumbass.
waste. Yeah.
Anyway, here's Manticore indirect from things that die like Catan a lot of the time.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
And
It's
also
just
like
that's an incredibly just stupidly different range of things to be the best. Now, if all of them were a little worse, that would probably be like, hey, that's an interesting metagame, right? Where you're like, you know what? The top 4 armies are all doing different things and they all ask different questions. But the fact that the degree to which you need to skew to handle any 2 of them leaves you so vulnerable to the other 2.
Yeah. And the the way in which all of them are collectively overpowered has stifled whole archetypes out of functional viability.
Fuck playing melee pressure right now, man. Jesus Christ.
Melee pressure is gone. I would argue that like MSU stuff is real bad if people are like properly on the spam.
Yeah, the fact that these armies all effectively get to play, with the exception of Guard, all of these armies get to effectively play just big guys that are durable and score and fight.
And reposition and are fast and yeah.
They're all just
And
like,
shoot.
there's nothing that they're bad at. Guard is the only one that's like, do you know what? Yeah, okay, Guard are not playing a ton of durability stuff, but they can if they want to, right? As you're saying, they can play Bogren, they can play Dorns. They're not trivial to kill. But Guard also play on the aspect of, holy shit, our med packs fucking annoying to play against in 10-man squads that are just like, you need to full activate that and kill it. Like you need to kill an average of like 15 guys, because if they AOC and you don't kill them, they're just going to regrow into the primary with OC 57.
Yep.
So you can't swing and miss at them either. So the level of damage output required right now is a thing that only the top armies can meet. And that's why, like, God, fucking, or you're just bleeding, you just hemorrhaging units into these armies every turn.
Yeah, Astra Militar are not that far behind when you look at the numbers. They have
I
9
objectively
event
think Guard are the
wins.
best army in the
Necrons
game. I think they're stronger than Necrons. Like in a good player's hands, I think they're better.
And I can pull that up as well real quick. But like they have 9 event wins. Necrons have 15. They have 25 top 4s. Necrons have 39. They do only have 48 top 10s, but Necrons have 94 of those fucking things.
Necrons hit 100. Someone in the chat said Necrons hit 100 event wins this week.
Yep.
Like,
yeah,
the
I'm not
edition,
surprised.
which is the first time we do. I think when Eldar got nerfed, I think we had a chat because Eldar had won like 40 something events at that point, and we were like, do we think Eldar will hit 50 or another army will hit 50 first? And I think Eldar probably hit 50 first because they ended up being quite good again.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I don't think we were asked the question of like, did we think anything would ever get like above them for the, do you think anything else would hit 50 for the edition almost? And Necrons have just eclipsed it. It's insane. Now, obviously, the edition's grown a lot, right? The game is just bigger, so I don't think we could have predicted that we were going to be facing 15 to 20 event weekends consistently by the time we hit the year, which fantastic, right? But yeah, it's bonkers. Necrons need to be like emergency nerfed and then nerfed in the data slate when that happens as well, probably.
Yeah, I think. So here's the thing. I think Necron, or specifically Satans, right? Let's talk about the problem that is actually the problem. Because as good as Amintar is, simply adding Amintar into the existing ecosystem of things that were good at Necrons would not have done this to Necrons, right?
No, it would have made them a good top 5 probably army.
Solid army.
They'd have been all right. We'd have been like, yep, cool. Amatar probably could go up going points in the data slate, but that'll be fine when it happens.
Right, or like maybe something about him changes. There's a couple ways you can handle Amintar.
Sure, maybe
the problem, the thing that is causing all of these problems is Satan.
Yep.
And Satan need a rule stripped out. Simply points, unless it is more than 100 is not going to fix this. Simply removing some amount of like synergies or something is not going to fix this. The Satan need to drop a rule. They need to lose their Feel No Pain. They need to lose -1 damage. One of those two, at least, has got to go. They can't keep this.
Yeah, you probably can't at this point pull Fly off of them, but that would be my recommendation. Get rid of Fly.
I don't even think that would be enough.
That
wouldn't even be close to enough.
Wouldn't even help. I think it would be nice.
Yeah.
I think either the Feel No Pain or the -1 damage needs to go.
Yeah, they can't. What they've done is they've created a unit that can't be priced adequately for the way 40k is played, right? And what I mean by that is no point value will be correct for this unit. It will either be too expensive to see play because it's like 1,000 points for one of them, at which point, fair.
Yeah, and like I think the other thing that I like to put on that point is, other than specifically the Nightbringer, their damage output just isn't good enough to be a 400-point unit.
It depends.
Like if you compare, like I mean specifically, if you're putting the comparison of like to an Imperial Knight, their damage output is vastly inferior.
Yeah,
and yes, their durability is higher, but at the point where you're trying to be like, we're going to pay 420, 430 points, they go for like 100 points, right? Based on like they're just not a unit that will do enough to be worth that. So you just won't play them, right? To kind of say why you're saying what you're saying.
Yep. And then the other thing that I think they could do is actually something that they just pointed out in chat, but I've been talking to people about this a bunch lately, is limit the number that you can take, right? You can go down to 1 Satan in a regular list, 2 in Pantheon, because I assume, based on the way that Pantheon works, is that their intent with Pantheon was that you would take 1 to 3 Satan, and then you take a bunch of stuff that benefits from the stratagems and the improved AP aura, right? But that's not where we've landed at all. What you do instead is you take 5 Satan, and you take enough shit to hold objectives around them. There are other problems that exist with the Satan. Obviously, the Deceiver's base size is too small. But I think if they just didn't have a Feel No Pain, or weren't -1 damage, probably fine.
I think no Feel No Pain
with a small points
make
increase.
them like the Avatar. The Avatar is -1 damage. Or it's half damage. He's a pain in the dick. That'd be fine.
I think the bigger thing about the Avatar too, though, is the Avatar doesn't also, in addition to having a Feel No Pain,
heal up to 5d3 a battle round. Yeah, no.
Heal up to 5d3 a battle round. So honestly, I think one of the bigger things that you could do is you probably take away the Feel No Pain and maybe the ability for that thing to reanimate. Maybe you just shouldn't do that. I don't know. Could strip reanimation off of it completely, and that might actually help alongside a points increase.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm worried that if they just strip the heal, that doesn't go far enough, right? A lot of armies are not making it to the point of getting them low. Like, you can, but you really don't have to.
Yeah, like the people, you're not losing to a Catan that dropped to 2 and then went back to 4, right? Like, you're losing to a Catan that you swung at and then it punched you back that turn and you lost the unit that was your plan for the next Catan.
Well, also, like, you bounced, it didn't die, now it shoots you, now it fights you.
Yeah, it just makes it impossible for melee armies to reliably interact with them, because if you swing and you miss, which is, even if it's like a 30% likelihood across 4 Catan, I mean, like, it's going to happen once or twice.
Dude, it's tough to get a melee unit to 70% to kill a Catan.
Exactly. Like, with how anemic melee feels, does it can feel this edition? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Look, I'm hopeful that it gets a proper nerf.
The Deceiver Soul should be like toughness 6 based on how big his model is at this point.
That's fair. I really do think, and also just like a separate note before I go to being productive, Necron's whole thing across the overwhelming majority of like the rest of the army's design space is that, to counter for the fact that they heal and most of it has 4 invulns and yada yada yada, is that it's lower toughness, right? Like a Doom's Eric is toughness 9. Most of their vehicles are a little lower on the toughness scale.
With the specific exception of Wraiths for some reason, yes, I would agree.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. But Satan bucked that trend entirely, so even like good strength stuff is often wounding you on 5s, which is just like not happening. Yeah, there's too much of that. So realistically, I think And basically, I have a very specific bar for this, right? I am very likely to play at the April like Home Nations event, right? Whenever that is. I think it's in April. My bar for is this nerf enough is will I be playing them for that? Because there's no fucking shot that I play the army that I have 20 or whatever reps on instead of the army that I have 4-digit reps on if they did their job correctly. And we'll see if that's true or not.
Yeah. I think it should be reasonable for most armies to kill a Catan without it being like your entire turn.
Yeah.
Like I think you like if we're gonna go the route that if you put a Catan in front of an army, it should just die. It shouldn't be a question of if it dies. It should be like, yeah, it dies, and then other stuff. You shouldn't have to build for it, right? You shouldn't have to plan to kill a Catan.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, then you shouldn't be allowed to play 5 of them.
Yeah. That
like I think
yes.
that's like
correct.
That's the same way like Imperial Knights worked, right? If an Imperial Knight army, the problem with it is that it could run 5 of them, and you couldn't reasonably expect to kill 1 in a turn unless you were very specifically built for it.
Yep.
And that was the problem with being able to put 5 Effect Knights on the board, was they would do that, and it would just be like, oh, fuck, I bounced. I guess I just get tabled. And this is just
guess I'm
5
dead.
Knights that also gets an Imperial Agent's backfield with it. Where like at least Knights had to take a trade off of like dropping a big one for like 3 Helverins and some guys or something.
Dude, you get
just like
you have quite a lot of stuff
points,
behind you
like
in
400
5
points
shards.
and stuff, nearly.
Oh, sorry, I lagged there.
You just get like 2 reanimators, a flayed 1 squad, another unit for your home objective, and like a locust or something like that, right?
You get a hex mark, 2 reanimators. If you go that route, you could do fucking a bunch of warriors. There's all this other stuff.
Yep. So if you get rid of Catan with no alternative, Necrons go to back wall, and you get with whatever stuff you bonus bands out. Fucking fine. That's been Necrons identity the whole edition. At least Wraiths don't fucking do anything. Like, yes, they stand there and yes, they're obnoxious and they kill chaff, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is like Necrons have been good all edition. I get that Necrons perhaps have had like a very samey build situation, so Necron players are perhaps
I don't even think that's strictly true.
A little like maybe less than happy with how they have to play the same stuff over and over and over again. But like being a top 5 faction, the whole edition is amazing. And the fact that now you get to be abusive is kind of emblematic of getting a unit that just is too good for the current situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically been like, I don't think they've ever dipped out of like the top 10, and they've frequently been in the top 5.
Yeah, they've just been very pinnable in teams, right? That's always been the greatest like criticism you could get of Necrons, is that like no matter, regardless of their strength level, in teams, there's always been a reasonable answer to them.
Yeah. And they've very frequently had like the occasional thing of just being like, oh, the top 2 armies just kind of shit down our throat.
Yeah.
Which like, yeah, man,
that's an everyone problem though.
The editions
you know?
had that a few times. I'm really sorry that you weren't good into release Codex Eldar. Nobody was. Sorry.
Yeah. Honestly, even then they were good into that exact thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah,
at
the durability of the Necrons, have struggled. Sorry, Nathan, go for it.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, at the end of the day, I have played multiple different Eldar builds consistently all edition, and they've done well in tournaments. I just have a much better play experience if somebody is playing 20 warriors instead of 5 Catan.
Like, it's not even close.
Like the number of solutions that a faction that I've played has had to 20 warriors with an invuln, with a feel no pain, with bringing back lots of models, with a reanimator has been so much larger. That window of solutions is humongous comparatively.
Yeah. If you're losing to 20 warriors, it's usually because your list was like, I'm just not going to play against that.
I won't play against hordes. That's going to be fine.
Yeah. And like, you're allowed to do that. If you show up to an event with like a list that's built to just Goomba Stomp Catan, it doesn't always matter.
And there's not a lot of armies like you can Goomba Stomp Catan with your army like one at a time, perhaps.
And unfortunately,
and get the thing yeeted to the sky by the second best faction in the game, which is Grizzled.
Yeah, it's just like, oh man, you did that. Oh, I'm really sorry. They're actually only 9% of the field, so the other 91% would like your phone number.
Yeah. I just if they just took the Satans and made them not have one of the two things. Not -1 damage, not the feel no pain. I would vastly prefer not the feel no pain.
Maybe 5 involved. That would be all right.
they're just not going to do that, right? I've given up on that.
I know.
The
4 involves on everything is so fucking annoying.
whatever, that's the world we live in now. Yay, woohoo, 10th, much less lethal than 9th, by the way.
I'd give Halo Doom a go into Catan. Let's have a go. But
No, you wouldn't. You would lose so bad. You would lose indescribably badly. What are we even talking about right
They
now?
can't face cap bar enough times.
Oh, Christ. Yes, they can. They're so good at it. What do you mean? Old face caps would not mean dick in the modern era, dude. Grenades, tank shock, bye. God, I miss face caps. Anyway, fuck. Face caps were so much easier to deal with than this.
Can you imagine Catan now? These Catan with face caps?
Sure. Whatever. I mean, we're just jerking off at that point.
They
But
were
that's basically what we're doing anyway.
They were
So-
4 a face.
Yeah.
Anyway, the thing is, I think there's a space where you could make Satan, even spam Satan, reasonable. Like, but they can't be just immune to this many sources of damage. And we're way past that, pal. And honestly, until it gets patched, if you have a genuine interest in winning the events you are going to, and you're not necessarily someone that's done a lot of the winning before, you should be playing Pantheon, and you should be shoving. Screen behind you, blast forwards, do not leave gaps behind you, go with your Catan first. That's it. It's the same game plan every fucking game. You'll win 5 of them, you'll lose 1, maybe.
Yeah.
Is there any source of damage that's actually good into them? Volume, crit 5, lethal hits is about it. And there's
even
just
that
not
is
that many sources of that.
Yeah, even that is hard to engineer, right? Like a primary source of that would be something like Bastion.
It's Bastion, it's Orcs, it's maybe Admech.
Those are
get away with it.
All
combat units.
Melee, which the minute, instead of the Satans doing fucking this, and they do this, you lose.
Yeah, I think people always forget that, like, when you unit crunch something, you also need to think about how you position it to do that. Like, you're not doing that to the Deceiver. How are you going to get 20 Blood Claws around the Deceiver in engagement range, right?
You gotta
just will
look.
not.
That's the number one reason to play Helbrecht and Gazgal. Their bases are big enough to get like an extra 10 guys fighting.
That's
only
true.
unit that I think, honestly, that you can like unit crunch and have it be pretty accurate is the stuff with 3-inch engagement range. So Orcs and Zerkers, right?
Yeah.
The problem is the scenario in which the Orcs can do it involves being green tide, which hurts your damage already. And the alternative, yeah, and the alternative scenario is Zerkers, which good fucking luck playing World Eaters right now. Again, the problem of like oppressing archetypes is not solely Necron's fault. This is not only the sins of the Crons. Sint basically invalidates most melee archetypes. I would be having a real consideration about playing Rage Curse right now. Not instead of Ultras, that's fake. But like if I was like singles Anthony, again, out there in the world trying to play singles, I would have a real consideration about playing Arcio. But Sint just destroys you. You should have 0 game into equal skill level Sint. So, what the fuck are you supposed to do? You already have Crons, which is quite cursed. You're going to play Sint, and then the failsafe options there in your top 4s are Ultras and fucking Grizzled? What?
It's not fallbacks. That's the worst pin you could imagine.
Yeah, Rage Cursed is perhaps the most powerful melee pressure detachment they've printed the whole edition. And it just doesn't fucking matter because the meta just won't let it matter right now.
Right. Also, people think about Guard and think that they'll see a mixture of things. The Astra Militarum, the Guard community, has narrowed its focus to Grizzled almost exclusively at this point.
Right.
So you need to have a plan for it because here's the number. There are 724 games of Grizzled. The next largest number is 33 games, and that's combined arms.
Every
Guard players
is the Grizzler.
have come in to be the Grizzler entirely, which is very different than previous experiences where
there is no one out there just being like, I'm going to play my Baneblade.
But they
they're
could.
playing their Beyblade, they're playing it in Grizzle.
That guy's playing in Grizzle.
It's very important, I think, that people lock into some of these things when we talk about it, especially when Anthony talks about needing to know what your experience is into something like Grizzled, because every single guard player is basically playing Grizzled at this point.
And the thing of it as well, to a degree that no other army seems to matter, Grizzled is an army that contains like 4 armies as well.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're just like, oh, it's double door and double vanquisher. Sometimes it's 18 fucking Bulgrin. Sometimes it's 400 horses. It's just like, these are just different armies. Like,
Yeah.
God fucking speed if your Matrix is one of them. If you
They've done a better job of giving guard different builds just within the Grizzled detachment than they have in Drukhari using all 3 sub-factions.
Correct.
It turns out reroll 1s and 1. To be fair, reroll 1s and 1s is a pretty fucked up rule. So
It doesn't even matter. It's just the way the armies are set up, right? Is you just have way more options of how to execute on a given game plan, all of which is propped up by a powerful army rule in Guard than you do in something like Drukhari.
Orders make me so mad all the time. Every time I think about them, like, why is this army rule?
It's too
Every
good.
army in the game would trade their army for orders.
Correct.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. And there's a very polar haves and have-nots scenario currently in our data.
Yeah,
I mean, it plays out in the meta.
Yep.
No, Nas, do your own show. You have a show.
You have a show you can record. Yeah.
Feel free to make whatever Grizzle takes you want with Liam and Brian.
But yeah, it's like there's a very
show.
Almost everybody has one event. Drukhari, Grey Knights, Black Templars, and Imperial Agents are the only 3 who have not. Or Chaos Knights also haven't. Sorry, I forgot Chaos Knights. Also forgotten in the data, basically. Most factions have won something, but Necrons have won more than the next 4 factions after them combined.
What are we even talking about right now? Like,
But
what?
it's a lot.
What? The next 4 it's more?
It's actually the same. It's the identical number.
That's not better. That is not that much better.
It's the exact same number. And that includes Astra Militarum, by the way, who have 9.
Yeah, insane.
Okay, here's my question. Necrons and Astra have 24. How many factions do we have to put together from from 3rd down to equal those 2?
From 3rd down?
Yep.
1 is 5.
To equal 24.
6, 8, 9.
Uh-oh, math
10,
in public.
14, 19, 23. I have to put 13 factions together to do it. Yeah.
So Guard and Necrons are as good as the next 13 factions.
Please stop looking too deep. Astra isn't good. Sorry that the numbers
can I borrow your Astra
don't
from
agree with
Manchester?
you, Nassim.
Yeah.
Nash, you can come on the show next week if I can borrow your Astra from Manchester.
Yeah, unrelated. I won't be on next week.
But yeah, I don't know what else to say, folks. I think we've kind of ad nauseum repeated.
Hey, shall we talk about the new data sheets?
Yes.
Let's go.
Please.
Whiplash.
Please, let's talk about something
These data
cool.
sheets were written by the same company that wrote the Catan sheets, by the way.
So here's the thing, is that it's really challenging to look at these sheets and get excited because they have to play into this meta, you know?
Yep. Yeah. Do you know what? I don't even think it matters. I think these sheets would be bad in any meta.
I think that there is real use cases for the CSM data sheets if one of them worked differently. And
can we talk about the Reeve captain whose ability is the worst paragraph of text that looks like somebody was like, wait, this can't affect the whole unit.
Here's the thing.
All right. So
here's the
here is the first data sheet. So we have the Red Corsair Raiders. They're standard space marine profile, movement 6, toughness 4, 3 save, 3 wounds, which is nice, OC2, which is nice. Yep. They get a hand flamer on the sergeant and a melta gun and bolt guns otherwise. They are 4 attacks, 5-1, 1 on 3s in combat with Dark Pact. One guy gets a fist, a 2-2. For every 5, you can take that. They have Infiltrate, they have Dark Pact, and they get +1 OC when they're not battle shocked after they destroy a unit for the first time.
So here's the thing.
A rule for sure.
Here's the thing. First off, that datasheet rule is perhaps the worst rule they've printed in 10th.
It's definitely up there for least impactful.
Why the battle shock clause is just rude for no reason. That wouldn't matter if that wasn't there, and it would still be bad, but it's just why?
No, Anthony, you'd send them in to kill the first Catan. They'd need to be 5 to the point with the second one battle shocked you, and you flip the objective.
Would that be so bad?
No, it wouldn't.
Here's the
my favorite thing is that like there's still there's still some detachments out there right now that have the like, if this unit is in your army in this detachment, it becomes battle line and it has OC2 that aren't battle lock shot restricted. So during your turn, they're still OC2 while they're battle shot. Like Harlequin have that in the fucking Sky or whatever that one their one's called.
Here's the thing that really gets me. Zoom in just a bit on those red Corsairs. Just get real close to them if you can to the models.
They're so cool.
Does that work that way?
No.
I had to.
There we go. And get just a little bit closer to the dude on the left's weapon.
Sure, the chainsword.
Ain't shit about that a Reaver blade. That guy's just stronger with that sword. Now, normally, I wouldn't give a shit about this at all. Normally, this wouldn't matter to me one fucking bit. However, for some fucking reason, when we got our goddamn codex, Berserkers weren't allowed to be Strength 5 anymore, because Strength 5 chainswords was the fucking line in the sand, apparently. And then these cunts come out and have nothing else to their name but are an extra wound, an extra OC, and for some fucking reason, this is where Strength 5 on chainswords is totally fine.
They definitely could have just left Berserker Warband at +1 strength to attack and left Berserker to Strength 5.
Yeah.
Just for every other detachment purpose, for every other detachment's benefit. All right, then let's talk about the Reeve Captain, who is also a datasheet you were legally allowed to play.
So here's the thing with this guy. Is that his rule is comedy because it gives you hope. There's a half second here when you first read this datasheet where you're like, if this dude was 70 points, I'd fucking play 2 of them. Sounds awesome, right? Fuck yeah. Go ahead and read it out, champ.
Profile. He's movement 6, toughness 4, 3 up, 4 up, 5 wounds, leadership 6, also 1. He gets a bolt pistol and a plasma pistol, so he's going to be great for all your cipher conversions.
Ooh.
He can have a power sword, which is a regular fucking power sword. 7 attacks at 521 sustained. Sick, bro. Great character weapon. Or he can swap that for the power maul, which is 5 attacks at 522, which, all right, fair enough. Not my favorite, but 5 at 522 is the Space Marine profile, right? So for some reason, despite being ostensibly one of the raiders, is not OC2 and does not have an extra wound, which
he hasn't worked it out yet.
He's not, he's not that cool.
Yeah.
He has infiltrators, good for him. When his unit declares a charge that targets a unit on an objective marker, you can reroll the charge roll. He doesn't have
sick
grenades.
Unit buff, dude.
Doesn't have grenades. And each time this model's unit ends a charge move until the end of the turn, add 1 to the strength characteristic of melee weapons equipped by this model, and improve the armor penetration characteristic of those weapons by 1. Which would be great if it worked on his unit.
Yeah, there it is. So here's the thing.
So he gets to be 632. If they had printed this guy at 632 without this rule, we'd have been like, he seems a bit
still bad. So here's the thing. There are 2 separate ways this model could be good. If he was just innately +1 damage on his current profiles, he'd be okay. 2, if that buff applied to his unit, maybe you'd have something there to do.
Why doesn't he have free strat as well?
Because he's busy letting you let me
reroll charges against units on objectives.
Yeah, dude. You know how we joke that, like, look, hear me out. This release for CSM broadly, at least so far, has been quite good.
Hero and the Masters are fucking great. They're
really good,
insanely good.
But this is some fucking 9th edition Ash Night Lords tech. Some fucking 4th Tuesday of the Blood Moon. You get a mediocre buff. Why does it need you to be on objective? Why is it only reroll charges? Why doesn't his buff affect the unit? What the fuck is this?
It was reroll hits and charges against units on objectives, and his buff could apply to the unit. And I'd have been like, do you know what? If this guy was like a reasonably expensive character, I would rather he was expensive and good than shit and cheap. Yeah. I don't want shit cheap characters. It's such a boring way to be good.
Yeah.
Like if it was like, all right, we'll put +1 strength and AP on the unit, but he's going to be 30 points more expensive. I'd fucking slam that. That'd be great. At least
this dude's melee profile is the same melee if you take the damage 2 weapon as a single unbuffed Vitrix guard.
And to be fair, if you charge in, it's the same as a Vitrix guard that used the lance stratagem mostly.
Mostly, yes.
It's actually worse than a Vitrix guard into an oath target if you pop the banner.
Yeah.
So the biggest, these models are beautiful as well, though.
It's a shame.
They're going to be such cool Chaos Lords.
I'm also not going to buy a box because these rules are terrible.
data sheets like this as well, because people and not like we do our best on the show not to be Games Workshop apologists or haters for no reason, right? Like when Games Workshop do something right, good, we like to say that it's good, and when they do something bad, we're not upfront about saying it. Now, I broadly don't buy into the thing that Games Workshop write good rules to sell models.
No, the
Now,
Hammer Strike
the
Bunker
reason-
would have been good at some point.
because holy shit, they are so bad at writing rules for models to do that. Like if these are cool as fuck models that do not need help to sell from their rules, right? 100%. These people are going, this box is going to sell out. I'm not even remotely questioning.
It's going to sell out
It's
immediately.
not going to sell out to me. But if they were writing these rules to sell models, surely they'd write good rules for the models.
I think that there is a lot of talk around how the competitive scene does not sell models, right?
And then everything that's good always seems to be sold out.
Yeah. Everything that's good is always sold out or impossible to get or goes immediately. And for whatever reason, lowly, early in his career capitalist Anthony cannot seem to muster up the logic that leads to all the shit garbage always being available. But maybe people just also...
new stuff tends to sell out, but like everything else, the stuff that's old that's sold out is usually competitive stuff.
I'm going to be honest, even the new shit doesn't really sell out if it's not good, right? It's available.
If it's in a FOMO box, it usually tends to. If it's not, that's fair.
Sure. I bet you anything. You can get as many of this fucking guy as you want.
Probably, yeah. This guy's going to be on eBay for like $7.
The box break. Yeah. Also, like many of the Chaos boxes, which are good boxes full of like FOMO box stuff, didn't sell out. So,
like this guy's going to be like, if this guy gets balanced down to being like 50 points, you're still going to be like, I don't know if I'd rather just have a Traitor Enforcer.
I
probably would.
It's not even close how much rather I would have a Traitor Enforcer.
The Traitor Enforcer has more attacks and damage too.
If we're comparing this guy to a Traitor Enforcer, right? Let's pretend that the Traitor Enforcer is costed appropriately. This fucker would have to cost 20 points for me to play him. I'm not joking.
I know. I agree with you because
I think it's
the
also
Traitor
just
Enforcer is just better.
It's not even close.
With the combination of these two units, Chaos Space Marines have an insane glut of mid-range
HQs that don't matter.
Decent in combat enough, like they'll fuck up 5 scouts units, right? Like they have so many of those and so many characters that are shitty marginal utility for unit, right? As Behemoth and Chaplain, like Master Possession, Sorcerer, Dark Apostle.
Yeah, all that
like
stuff, dude.
Half of the attached characters.
Dude, in 9th, the Dark Apostle was the buff god. He gave 3 of the most broken buffs in the entire game. Just completely useless this edition.
2 up massive charge, 2 up -1 to hit, or 2 up trans hitman. No
trans hitman.
Right?
Yeah, 2 up reroll hits. Insane. Useless now.
Yeah. Like if the I can see a world where if the Reavers are not that expensive, that 15 wounds for 90 to 110 points is a good rate for a unit that can infiltrate and be annoying on an objective. And some detachments might care about that. But they are still competing with Raptors, with Warp Talons, with Traitor Enforcers, with bikes.
CSM has so many things that are better in that space. I genuinely think that even though they're 3 wounds each, I think Reavers would have to cost I shit you not, fucking 80 to see play.
Yeah, I mean, like if they were 90 and the same as Legionnaires, I think you would be like choosing between them.
I don't think you would. I don't even think it's close. I would take a Legio all day. There's 2 heavy weapons in a Legio squad. What are we even talking about right now?
Yeah. 3 wounds is nice.
It's not that nice. It doesn't matter worth dick right now.
That's very true. Yeah, a bird is picking these guys up. Fucking good luck. All right. Next up, let's jump over to some Eldar data sheets. So do
we not want to take a pause in the Defiler amazing model?
Okay. Yeah, we should inject some positivity.
Let's talk about the most amazing best rebrand makeover ever for the fucking Defiler model.
Yeah.
This model is fucking amazing. Immaculate A+.
Last week I had said that the Mutilators were my favorite model that GW's ever made. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have been talking shit. This guy that's a Doom boss. I fucking swear to God, if these are on an unplayable base, I'm gonna cry because I want these to be good bad.
I think someone mini compared it up to being on a 160.
160 is too much. I can justify it if they're on a 130. I can figure out a 130. 160 is not happening.
If they give them just straight up dead ass move through walls on a 160, I'll look at it.
Just dead ass move through walls, yeah.
Just straight up move through walls.
They'd have to be like move 12 though for that to work.
Sure, they're 8 right now, right?
That's a lot of glow up. Nope.
Well, if they were like 10 advance and charge in Emperor's Children on a 160,
If
go through walls.
Look, if Satan or anything to judge by, this fucker is going to be -2 damage and have a 4-up feel no pain.
More importantly, can we just like this guy? It might not fucking matter. This guy might not need to move. That's a battle cannon and double twin las cannons.
Dude, yeah, that's not a
And
battle
they have
cannon,
the
son. That's a
guns.
fucking Vindy cannon. That shit's gonna sting.
Yeah, sorry, a demolisher. That's a demolisher cannon based on
Yeah.
the one. Yeah. This might just be like a vindicator with las cannon sponsons that fucks you up if you try to tag it. Like I might just leave this on my home objective. What are
It
we
has
doing?
so many more guns than it does
Yeah.
right now. It
Someone
has
did-
2 of the Venom Crawler guns on its chest.
Yep, and those are 12 shots of 612. Those are good guns.
Also, this thing is
this-
just going to be like sick for conversions, right?
It's so cool.
Going to get used.
These models are
Insane. It's a Doom boss. These things are sick as fuck.
And they're
Like-
going to be in World Eaters, Thousand Suns, Emperor's Children, and Death Guard by the
look,
look of it.
I wake up every morning and I pray that these things can be a reasonable source of fire support in World Eaters. I love my mono melee as much as the next guy, but if we could have a gun that doesn't deactivate the moment it's tagged, bro.
You're sitting there looking at like this guy with like scratches, 2 guns.
Dude.
You're like, I want this guy. This guy's going in all my list if he's good.
Yeah, if that guy is even vaguely reasonable.
Oh man, there's posability on the front claws as well. That's cool.
I'm going to be trying to play 3 of these super hard when this comes out.
Look,
I'm going
all
to be digging
saying
through.
is, I want to bring for our next 5-man teams event that we do is the 15 Defiler comp. I want to.
You can do that. That's
Yeah.
fair.
I think that would just be very funny to try for like a random 5-man sometime.
Yeah. Look, it's again far and away outstanding, standing ovation level work with this
one- these
fucking
models are
model.
sick. All of
Please.
the stuff is so cool.
Please, for the love of God, give
Make
it
good.
rules. the Reaver shit is so fucking tight and so fucking bad. Please let this be good.
outside of Huron and his guys, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did say that before, but to reiterate, just in case this gets clipped and sent off to GWHQ, Huron and his boys, plenty good. Also incredible looking. This fucking thing blows them out of the water looks wise. Please be functional rules wise.
Detachment with Defiler battle line. Yes.
Yeah,
Amazing.
sure, whatever. Woo!
Why not?
Anthony wants 3 of these in Pantheon. That's what we're looking for next.
I don't, please. No, I just want to be able to not play Pantheon anymore.
All right.
God, fuck, let me out of here.
The actual physical pain in Anthony's voice means we should go on to the Eldars.
Next up, we have Seto Kaiba.
He's good. He's
I think this is
definitely a good sheet.
most interesting of the new Elder Data sheets, which is painful because I don't think he's that good.
I don't think that's true. I think the next guy is quite good, and people are being.
Oh
too
yeah, actually no, that's
complainy.
probably true. I think Karseth is probably real. Karseth is
Karseth is the best data sheet from this release set.
Yeah.
but
I'm
it
like,
might,
look.
might not be for Eldar, but
It's not that hard. So, like, what this enables, right? Let's talk about this, right? Because this is not genuinely, like, generally a great data sheet. However,
do we want to run through what it is first for people who are
Yeah, let's
listening
Sure.
do the
and stuff?
rundown of the data sheet.
Right. So Prince Yriel, movement 7, toughness 3, 3 up, 4 up, 5 wounds, 6 up leadership, OC1, has 6 shots at 622 with assault and pistol, and then a shuriken pistol on top, and then 5 attacks with lance at 733 in melee, which is genuinely where of all the good profiles. All the good profiles are on this guy apparently. While he's leading a unit, his unit gets +1 to hit and sustained hits, which is pretty nice. It puts like Void Reavers are the general unit I would
Yeah, the
expect this guy
stats.
with, who gives reroll 1s. So reroll 1 sustained hits on that melee profile is not going to be bad. And then he lets you redeploy 3 units, even if he's in a transport. Fuck you, Malice. Suck it.
Yeah.
It is notably for ranged and melee, and you do have some guns in those.
Yeah, you're going to get like
Yeah.
a blaster and stuff. You could even play a 10-man if you really wanted to.
so what this does is this lets you, if you want to go down this road, and if something enables it in the future, this could make it a decent buff vehicle, right? I don't think there's anything really currently that does that. It's unlikely that they print a detachment that's so strong that you're like, dude, I'm gonna play the fucking Corsairs. Let's go. But
I could even see like like 5 of these in your Wave Serpent to give it Scout 7, push it forward, disembark them forward, disembark these guys out. Right? Like if you were going to play it, it's the kind of thing that could be interesting.
yeah, I think that like anything that hits on 2s, roll 1s, and has sustained is like, all right,
Okay,
we gotta look.
Let's just double check that this is actually bad and not really good secretly.
Yeah, and like Homeboy does buff himself, right? So he's 5 attacks, rerolling 1s. Sus, Lance.
Yep.
Like, that shit's pretty good.
He's flat 3 damage and AP3. He's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Eldar are as well, so you can take him in Drukhari if you care.
Yeah.
Where he might be kind of interesting in like
Wager.
I was gonna say Wager, but Wager already gives reroll 1s, right? So you don't actually need that. Maybe he's like
all the other buffs though, right? Like
I don't think you'd play him as a solo character, but yeah, like access to lethals.
No, just joining 5 idiots though. Like that's another like 5-man with a character. Yeah. Like if we played a reasonable game, I could have so much fun in Wager right now with the amount of like 5 people and a leader that own. Yeah. But we don't, so I'm not.
Yeah.
Next data sheet.
Zipster, if you want to join the Discord now that you've become a member, and thank you for joining as a member, and thank you for the 20 Danish kroner for detachment with the Valor Battleline. You need to go into your YouTube settings and set up your Discord integration, and you should all connect. If you've already done that, disconnect it and reconnect it.
Or just message one of us on Discord.
Or Innis will accidentally disconnect by hitting the wrong button. The other thing you can do is you can email us at contact at the StatCheck contact email address, and we will get you fixed if that doesn't work.
All right. Next up, we have our favorite StatCheck host, Karseth.
You have to reshare it, but
I know. Yeah,
I'm working on it. Share. I know, like the cat hit my back button.
Oh, the cat did it.
That's funny.
It was very funny that you said you have to disconnect and then immediately disconnect it.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Karseth, who is notably not an orc in a car, which I'm very disappointed about. Joins Void Reavers and Void Scarred, is movement 7, blah blah blah, toughness 3, 4 vulnerable, save 4 wounds, 6 up, 1. Has my favorite gun name in the game, with Dreams of the Deep Void, Dread of the Deep Void, which is anti-infantry 2+, blast, hazardous, ignores, cover, psychic, which just disrespectful shooting profile.
I get hit by that gun when I wake up every morning.
And then it has 3 attacks on 2s at 303 anti-infantry 2+ in combat, which is just hilarious.
It's fun.
Scout 7, leader, battle focus, 12-inch no deep strike aura, and then after you shoot something with Dread of the Deep Void, it becomes Riven. So it can do combos and animation canceling and is in from League of Legends, I think.
+1 strength.
But also notable, you get +1 strength against that unit for Eldari models, which is all Eldari models, which means it does work on Drukhari. So most interestingly, Hellions can get strength 6 outside of Spectacle, or strength 7 in Spectacle.
Hellions are fucking bad outside of Spectacle. But
they're okay in Reaper.
For the rest of the Reaper shit, that shit matters. Harlequins are +1 to fucking wound in melee. That strength break point is fucking something.
Yeah, I think Karseth is genuinely. It's another version of Eldrad for detachments that don't want or can't afford to play Eldrad. I think.
Perhaps most importantly, Eldrad can't go in Reaper's Wager.
Exactly. And is also quite expensive, right? Like Eldrad is 120 now or something like that.
It also gives you command points and stuff. But
look, I'm not saying Eldrad's bad. I don't want to, but sometimes you just like
watch it.
I want something to hold my home objective.
I'm watching you, knife ear sympathizer. Fucking.
I have actually never put.
Innis has a union card.
Yeah, he does now. Apparently, I do too, though. That's my bad.
You do. All right. Next up, we have the strangest datasheet, I'll say, which is the Corsair Sky Reavers.
People keep telling me this is good, and I keep getting really irritated.
Quick shout out to Games Workshop for finally printing a fragile elf. Something that is actually as fragile as every elf player complains about their army being.
These guys literally paper. They are
no scam potential on these lads. Moving fast, dying. That's it.
Something really weird on this data sheet that in the original preview they were like, yeah, and you can equip the leader with like a Sky Reaver Talon,
not a warrior option,
and it's just not there.
They were right. I bet you money there's a Raider hook in that kit.
Yeah, and you just can't give it to him. It's not
you can. It just doesn't do anything. For the people that they were talking to, which is allegedly all the people that buy models and then don't play the game, which is again allegedly a significant portion of the purchasing base. This Doesn't matter. Who cares if it doesn't have rules for the game you're not going to play? Who gives a fuck? They can be equipped with the rating hook. Pop off, King.
So these guys are movement 12, toughness 3, 5 up save, 1 wound, leadership 7, OC 1. You get a blast pistol or a neurodisruptor instead of the shuriken pistol, and then you get 2 per 5 of blasters, flamers, fusion guns, and shredders. You do replace your melee weapon to do that. All the weapons are as you would expect. The Corsair blade is 421 with 3 attacks. If you trade it out for a gun, you get 3 attacks at 301. They're Deep Strike Scout 7, which is genuinely quite fast on a movement 12 model.
Yep.
And then at the end of the fight phase, if they were eligible to fight, they can make a fallback move or a normal move depending if they're in or out of combat, which is definitely a thing this unit will frequently get to do.
It's the same thing, right? Like, unless you charge like a tank, and you better hope it's not a World Eater tank, you're just not gonna have a unit afterwards. Like this unit just dies.
Yeah,
this
unit's like
if you charge a Rhino.
Sometimes, like, people ask, whenever we do like a Blood Angels list, right? People always ask, why does your captain have a hand flamer? It's for these guys, right? It's for the free strat Overwatch on these guys, so they don't flip your fucking primary.
That's right. That's real. You'll stop it because these fucks ain't getting it.
Now, the thing that will probably be like marginally annoying within these guys is like you get charged by something that actually wants to charge you, like a Banshee squad, and then these guys come in too, and then these guys fuck off onto your objective and like move block you from getting to the Banshees or some shit like that. There is probably some amount of marginal utility for these guys if they're just like Ranger cheap.
Dude, if they're cheap enough, they move 12, grenade, and fly.
Points. Yep.
Yeah.
If this unit's between like 50 and 75, it's probably genuinely quite interesting.
Dude, I'm talking a ton of shit for someone that's recently found a great love for goremongers, who are, by most metrics, worse than this unit, except exactly at charging things and killing them.
Yeah. Like, I think this unit is probably, it's a very strange unit, but the utility that it provides is probably not bad. The fact that you're just going to be like blast pistol, fusion gun, and blaster, all with assault, you can just like charge something. You have Scout 7. Like, they're probably pretty good game instigators, right? I don't think this is a bad unit. I think they're probably good in a really boring way, which is probably fine. Eldar broadly didn't need a third unit to join the trifecta of War Spiders and Swooping Hawks of you'll never leave your deployment zone.
We could use so much good in a boring way. Good in a boring way could save us. If good in a boring way could come back, that'd be great.
Yeah,
if these guys
I think it's very likely that most Eldar lists,
really good.
If this unit is 65 points or less, we'll play 1 to 2 of these.
There's a point total in Eldar? I forget what it is now because I haven't written an Eldar list in a minute for some reason. That there's like a point total in the Eldar trash continuum that just is like dead because there used to be something there that got like filled by.
Hasn't been my experience. Like it's pretty easy to write an Eldar list for like any dimension.
Maybe it's 65. I think 65 is like Rangers. Fuck all else.
Yeah, so Rangers are 55, Void Reavers are 65. There's nothing at 60 exactly now that's like any good.
Right. Or again, same thing.
Like 60, 65, 70. 70, I start being like, are these better than just playing Void Reavers, which are OC2? Are they better than just like finding the 20 points, the 15 extra points to put us when it's Hawks on the board?
I think they're good enough that at 70 they would see play. And at 60, I would call them pushed.
At 60, I would say these guys are probably way too good because Corsair Void Reavers are 65.
Right.
Which are movement 7. It's kind of weird because going from 7 to 12 is a big jump. But going from OC2 to OC1 is a big jump.
Are Rangers OC2?
They also have a guy that
no,
can just
Void Reavers are OC2.
Oh.
They have a guy that can eat things on an invuln for a minute.
Yes, which I don't think is that important, but it certainly comes up. Yeah, I think there is a very real world where 1 to 2 of these are staple in Eldar lists, and they are just another thing. I think if you are already playing 15 Hawks, 15 Spiders, it becomes difficult to be like, oh, I maybe definitely more of that profile.
Like, yeah.
But if you're just like, oh, I can only fit in 2. I'm playing a 10 of Hawks, so I only have 2 squads of Hawks to do that job. I'm playing like one of my Spiders with Lycus, and I can only afford one other squad. Maybe you're like, you know what, 2 of these instead of 30 dead points in a third Spider squad might be better, right? That's kind of the space that I see these guys sitting in.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think this unit is good, but points pending is just
I mean, I think that kind of applies to everything. Anything here could be fucking terrible, but
sure. And then do we want to talk about the final one, which is the
let's talk about the Eldar Piranha. So this is a Piranha. Sorry, it's Starfang.
Starfangs.
It's 1 to 2 guys. It comes with a disintegrator cannon, a Starfang grenade launcher, and a melee weapon. It's movement 14, toughness 6, 6 wounds, 3 up save, OC2. It's got
The dumbest
D3
data sheet
plus
rule of
3
all time.
shots at 632. It can give an Eldar unit stealth, which is cool. Eldar infantry unit within 36. Why within 36? Truly,
so
I don't.
Just make it line of sight locked. Why is this rule there?
I appreciate that it's because it's the same range as the grenade launcher gun that it has.
I guess.
Right? Like it's firing the grenade launcher defensively. Like I appreciate what they're going for, but holy shit, is it stupid? So
the disintegrator cannon having a great name, but just being a star cannon is very fun.
No, that's
I mean,
just a
it's
dissy.
the same as a disintegrator cannon from Drukhari.
That's a Drukhari weapon, Nathan. How dare you?
Oh, shut up, Henry.
It's a dissy, yeah. So this is a piranha. There are many like it, but this is Eldar's. Have you ever wanted something that can go 21 inches on turn, 23 inches on turn one and bumper car something? Consider a Starfang.
If this thing is not that expensive, I think it's quite good. I'm looking at this through fairly jaded lenses, to BH. But like, if anything that I played had access to this at like 70-ish, 80, maybe not 80, but like 70-ish.
So 70, 60. I could see this being 60 to 70. Yeah. And again, it just goes into that spot of like, you've got about 400 points to spend on Elder Chaff. What do you want to spend it on, right? Like, do you want these? Do you want Rangers? Do you want Void Reavers? Do you want Rangers? Do you want more Hawks? Do you want, like, you're going to have like your bare minimum of Hawks and Spiders, but you can add more onto that, into that package. These will be a thing that goes into that package, and they'll be kind of fucking annoying.
I will say 2 of them do actually have kind of an obnoxious amount of gun into a large unit at AP3 because it's D3 blast plus 3 shots.
The fact that AP3 is not bad,
6
right?
plus 2D3 plus blast at AP3 damage too, which is good into a lot of infantry models.
Yeah, the thing hurts.
Yeah. Look, they're gonna, like, if the squad of 2 of these is gonna go fuck up those tormentors trying to stick to your opponent's home side objective.
True. They
That's
are
actually
also extremely fast.
That's a really funny
Scout
point,
7.
Nathan, that I think, honestly, if this had one gun that was D3 plus 3 blast, people would be like, bro, this is insane. But because it's 2 guns, people just fucking lizard brain it and don't do that.
They are 6 plus 2D3 plus 2 blast into a unit, which means they do just murder infantry units that most people use to hold things.
They have 1 dissy, right?
He's talking about a squad of 2.
I'm talking. You put 2 in a unit.
Okay, I don't think you're doing all that, but you could if they're cheap enough.
Or
that could be reasonable.
Plus 3 blast.
The fact that they're AP3 genuinely is.
If they're 60 points each and together are 120, that's like a pretty good early game unit, you know?
Yeah, or if they were like 70 and 120, right? Like you got the discount in the 2-man or something.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you'd be all over that. Well. Yeah.
The fact they don't have the Viper keyword's a little sad, but it's probably for the best because
it's for the best.
And a Warhost attachment. It's meant to be an Eldar attachment, not a Corsairs attachment, so I think that's fine. I mean, these
so
okay.
fast though. They are fast. 7.
They have smoke. But they have grenade.
They have grenade. Holy shit! Wait a second.
They have smoke and grenade.
This is cool. I love this unit actually now. Can you imagine flying over to somebody 21 inches and then fucking grenading them and shooting them, then charging them?
This is going to be the new funniest story of how you've lost a World Eater Demon Prince on foot.
Yeah, just wait a second.
Why do they have grenade?
Why do they have grenade? Grenade and tank shock.
They do have a grenade launcher.
This one shit vehicle.
So do Olorus.
This one shit vehicle has more access to core stratagems than all of Tyranids.
True, you're not wrong. This one unit, this one
smoke, grenade, shock.
I think the only one it can't use, the only stratagem it can't use is go to ground and heroic. So.
God damn it.
This is gonna pop my Gulliver turn 1 100%.
Now that I've seen that it has grenades, I am so much more on board.
I had not read the keyword line. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling you, dude.
More on board with this goofy fucker.
I love like the mid-range shit. I love like the this is like the Eldar equivalent of like a Talos, right? Like I love units like that because they always fuck it up. They never get it right. It's either terrible or broken. So we'll see.
I think this looks quite good. I'm actually changing my mind. I think Yriel might be the worst of these 4 data sheets.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying.
I honestly still like Yriel because you just pay 65 points and attach him to a fucker squad, and he can.
Look, man, I might not be running any of those squads anymore. I might be running 3 of these.
True. See, depending on points, you just might be running the Flappy Boys.
I told you.
You're gonna go second against 3 of these. Fuck! All my chaff's dead.
My turn 1 ability to move. Fuck.
Yeah, like, the biggest thing that I will say for these ones, thank fuck they changed star engines.
Yes, that would be very funny.
Getting hit by one of these going a cool, what would it be, 28 and charging turn 1 might have been too much.
Yay! Could you
and
charge
green.
after Star Engine? No, right?
Yes.
I don't even remember. It's been so long. No one really charged me when that was a thing, you know?
It now gives you Assault. It used to give you it just made your normal move go d6 plus 1 additional inches. That was all it did.
Maybe.
7 plus 14 plus d6 plus 1.
Yeah. You were going to roll a 6 and lose the intercession squad on your home objective against this thing at one point.
Your home objective turn 1 and be like, what the
That's you go second against this thing and start. You're just like, oh dear God, why?
Yeah. Dude, my fucking poor Hexmark holding my -1 damage for my Silent King, just getting ripped up in my DZ.
Yeah, this guy's gonna kill every single person trying to run that on a Psychomancer is just fucking terrified of these things now.
I would be. That thing's gonna get grenaded off the fucking existence.
To be fair, if you do run it on a Hexmark, you probably get this thing in Overwatch.
If it's next to Necrosaur, I might believe you.
What's its toughness?
6.
It's T6. You're running it on 5s.
4s with a...
Oh, well, yeah, 4s.
It's got a 3-up save, though.
It does.
This thing has
an
a
6
the guys inside it are 5-up, but it's got a 3-up.
Funny. It is... Look, over the things we just went over...
All right, Anthony, you have a hard stop. You gotta go, buddy.
Oh, I do have to leave. If, in theory, this had enough buffs, this could be very scary, but I think it's actually just good on rate.
I think this thing might just be like a good 1 to 2 off. Also, like, not nothing, but Karseth making this thing go to strength 7 does help a bunch of do a lot of targets.
Yep. All right. On that note, later, folks. Good luck standing on objectives against Necrons. Remember, it's your fault if you lose against them.
2 of these will flip an objective off a Catan.
No, it won't. Bye.
Well, they're OC4. It'll flip shit. I actually am much more sold. I was very whelmed by this release initially because
why does it have
flappies are? It having grenade changes my mind completely on that.
I guess model. I'm going to buy that box now. I guess rules do sell models.
Yeah, rules do sell models.
I was already planning on getting that box.
They are already cool as well. And the Void Reaver kit is actually quite nice. The regular. I do wonder what that detachment does now. I hope they kind of... I wonder what the detachment will do for them. That's all. If the detachment is good, though.
I bet the detachment's going to be dog shit because it's a Corsair detachment, but I would have said that about this thing as well. So, all right, I'm going to do the plugs and then we should do some questions.
Yes, because we're at 90 minutes.
It's fine. As long as we're having fun.
True.
Okay, let me just go and find the plugs. There we go. So, thank you everybody for being with us so far on the show. Obviously, don't leave now. We're just, paying some bills, but stick around because we'll be doing some show questions. But first of all, if you're enjoying the show, thank you to the 230 people currently watching. Apparently, whinging about Necrons. It's good for the numbers. Please do remember to do all the social media stuff, like, comment, subscribe, recommend us to a friend. If you've got somebody who plays a bunch of 40k that thinks they benefit from hearing from us, chuck us a recommendation. If you're in a position to support us a little bit more, you can check out youtube.com. You can check out patreon.com/statcheck or the YouTube memberships program. There's a link down below for that. $5 a month gets you access to our Discord. It gets you access to all of the bonus content that we create. There's a video every 2 weeks coming up now. I'll be recording the next one on Sunday to go live for everybody. So there's a bunch of stuff there. If you want to hear more from us, that's the way to do it. Yeah, that's $5 a month. You can play a little bit more to get your name shouted out at the end of the show. If you like hearing from us and you want to hear even more of us, you can check out youtube.com/statcheck for our live shows every Tuesday at 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern. Various other times do apply, as well as hearing all of the other wonderful shows on our network, like Take All Comers, End of the Matrix, and Medicaid's Orders, as well as all the back episodes like X and 1, Champions of 40k. And obviously ourselves. You can find all of our sponsors, the guys that help keep the lights on, Red Dragon, Wheel Yutani, J15 Games, and Saltar Games. You can find all the links in the description box below. Whatever you're looking for related to 40k, one of our sponsors will have it, and one of them will be in your area. Check it out, unless you're in Asia, in which case we can't help you. I'm sorry. I mean, you can still order it. I've seen like Saltar measuring gauges and J15 stuff and Red Dragon tokens everywhere. I love it. I love going to the event. Sometimes I go like. Someone will be like, "Oh, they've got StatCheck card sleeves," and I'm like, "Oh, just in StatCheck," and they're like, "No, I've never heard of it. I just bought these card sleeves." I'm like, fair enough. It's always good fun. is there anything else we need to share? Did we do any bonus content this fortnight's bonus content was the February meta preview. So if you want to hear thoughts on what you can do for every army in the game going into February in tournaments, you can check that out. I don't know what I'm recording on Sunday yet. That's to be determined. I might actually do a recap of the RTT depending on what I play, because that would be kind of interesting. Or maybe I'll just do that for everyone, or I'll do another.
Medicay's orders on Thursday. That's about it.
Medicay's orders on Thursday. Sick. There should be an End of the Matrix episode this month as well, presumably once Brian's back from Thailand. Last thing I need to plug then is coaching. If you're interested in working with any of the StatCheck coaches, you can check out stat-check.com/coaching or drop us an email at coaching@stat-check.com. If you want to work on any arm in the game, even the despicable Necrons, we're more than happy to help and help you get through these tough times in the best shape you can. So for a lot of clients right now, the advice is let's build to beat everything else and just try to dodge Necrons and hope for the best. We do know the Land Raider Redeemer has grenades, Rainbow Karn effects. It's definitely not the best part of the Land Raider, but it might be the best part of the Starfang. All right. I think that's all I have to do for plugs. Now we're going to go to show questions. As always, there are 2 ways to get your question guaranteed answered on the show. One is to leave a super chat. The other is to be a Patreon member or a YouTube member. And then the third way is to just ask a really good question that we want to answer, but we can never promise we have a ton of time for those. Nathan, do you want to kick us off?
We'll start out with Ben Jurek, who's been a member for 13 months. Since we are bringing back legended models, would you prefer, what would be your dream unlegending? Grotesques. That data sheet's so good in the Drukhari Codex.
The barb, the scythe, which is the I have a scythe Yriel. I can use my Norn Emissaire, my Demicarons as Norns, but I'd like the barb Yriel back, despite the fact that it's also on a 160mm base equivalent.
It's fair. All right. Then we've got questions. That's all of the questions that I tagged from people who are in YouTube chat. Let's go to the main Patreon question thread.
Oh, we have one more. For Genie, $2 for Crash Out more about Strength 5 Chainswords King, which we absolutely will do, Nas. Thank you.
Anthony definitely will crash out more about it later. All right. Sir Beetle has the first question, which is, what do you think about the heresy books? I'm now at book 31, reading them all in order, but I heard a lot of people complaining that most heresy books are really badly written. But so far, I must say I did enjoy most of them. Some were a little bit tedious, but overall, it's a really cool deep dive into the Warhammer universe.
So when I was 11, I started reading the Horus Heresy, and I got all the way up to what's the one that's written like an Ultramarines diary? It's like No Fear or something like that. And I gave up at that one. So. And I've never read a 40k book since. And I was like 15 when I gave up. And that was about 14 years ago. And I stand by the fact that no 40k book is better than a C+.
I have read a lot of the Horus Heresy books, but not all of them. There are a lot of them. I think some of them are really good and some of them are really bad, which is true about every 40k book that has ever existed. The 40k books range in quality from pretty good science fiction, but pulpy, to really bad science fiction, but pulpy. Some of the Siege of Terror books are really good and books that I quite enjoy. The first Horus Heresy book opening line is amazing, and that's about it, which is like, I was there the day Horus killed the Emperor is like the opening line to that book. And it's quite good.
I don't care for Warhammer 40k fiction.
That's fine. I read it periodically. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I think. I think the quality of those books is all over that. Seth has the next question, which is, what are the odds of one of the random new data sheets getting released, Corsairs, Defilers, Nouveau Tandu, New Tau Jutes, etc., has a meta-defining power level, and is 40k betting legal?
I missed that last bit. What was the last question?
Is 40k betting legal?
Is 40k betting legal? I assume Polymarket will take your money for anything, but I can't say I would recommend it. If you have a gambling problem, reach out to support structures, not StatCheck. If you're trying to bet on 40k, I would recommend that you should probably do that, because this is a game of toy soldiers, not a thing you should be betting money on. And then I think there's a very real chance that the Masters of the Maelstrom and Huron could be very, very powerful. I don't think any of the other stuff seems like it'd be meta defining. It could be good and like a role player in another army, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be much better than that. The Defiler, literally, there's no way to know what that thing could do, right? I would imagine that thing's getting a full datasheet rewrite. The datasheet's like, it has like Overwatch on 4s and thousands and shit like that. If it gets that with a vastly insane amount of guns, I could see it being crazy. And but if that datasheet gets rewritten, or there's any number of ways that thing could go. So I think it's really difficult to say.
I do think that we need to see some of those data sheets. Like, it's entirely possible that the new Tau characters are just crazy good for some reason. It's also
I
possible
doubt
that
it because one of them is a gun character and one of them is a melee character. That seems like it would be counterproductive for a Tau army, but
you never know.
You do never know.
DT is the next person with a question, which is, what do CSM do in the Star God meta? Vindicators, Impact Bound, or Veterans of the Long War? And why is the hidden correct answer Renegade Raiders, and what does that list look like?
The hidden answer is Renegade Raiders, and you should keep doing the same thing that we've been saying, which is just play the same Renegade Raiders list you've been playing and put in Harkon and 10 Raptors. And that will kill the first Catan, and your guns will deal with the second, and you can try to go and kill the scoring stuff, and that'll be okay.
All right. Logan has the next question, which is each of the team's favorite 40K single model revealed recently? The Defiler. 100%. That is my favorite thing that has been revealed recently.
Do you guys remember when they revealed that Tyrannid Prime? It's not that guy. The guy looked terrible.
It's fine.
No, but I bet you did forget they revealed him, didn't you?
I didn't. I remember they revealed him because you brought it back into my brain, but
I
was like, oh yeah,
the Twin Lance models are fucking sick. I think the Defiler's cool. I'm actually not like, it's a cool model. I'm not in love with it like Anthony is. I tend to find the flashy stuff on the Defiler. Like someone did posted like a conversion of it that was like fully armored, and I thought that looked a lot better. So I might have a look at doing that style if I do Defilers.
It does have more armor that you can put on it, so that you
but like someone covered up like all of the flesh, so it just looked like a giant enemy. It looked like Urgot from League of Legends. It was great.
Yeah, it was a Photoshop, I think, with some extra bits.
Yeah, no, someone did that. Someone also photoshopped it as Marnie as Calgar. So like whatever. My favorite model, obviously the new Titus model, because he's the best model. No, I don't fucking know. I don't. I really like the new Warsmith. I think he's been my favorite so far, besides the Twin Lance guys.
And then the best thing that you have done in London so far?
Probably the Tate Modern was the most enjoyable thing. I know it's a little basic, but the building itself is super awesome. I do enjoy modern art. It's been good. I've mostly been eating at home because I'm, I don't want to spend London money for everything I do. So
that's fair.
It's been a lot of museums, a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, it's been good fun. I'm having a good time. I'm excited to get home next week. I'm at the point now of being like, I want to go home. 4 weeks is a long time.
Isaac, who are you? He's changed his quotations name.
I don't think he's allowed to do that.
Triple Land Raiders and Coterie, hot or not? I don't think not.
No, I would say that seems bad for I don't think they benefit very much from being in Coterie.
Yeah. And then Woe with Catan spam or Shatter with Catan spam. I think both are equally good options, but Woe does more with more Catan than Shatter does with more Catan.
I think if you want to play 5 Catan, you should just do it in Pantheon. If you want to play less, there is arguments for other detachments, but you have to want to play less. Oh, the Custodian Shield Captain is a great shout for the best model they previewed recently. That model was so fucking cool.
Oh yeah, that's true. The Heresy one, it's definitely. And then Hexwarp, Coven, or Rubrikai, or all of the above.
I'm still a Coven believer. I think that access to Dev Wounds of the Blank and being able to reroll spells is very, very impactful.
I do think Rubric is good, but
Princes are quite good in Hexwarp. I was quite impressed with Princes in Hexwarp, but nothing else in Hexwarp impressed me even slightly. So,
Logan asks the question of how cheap would a 5-man of infiltrating Red Corsairs have to be to make worth taking in a CSM list. I think they'd have to be Legionnaire priced.
I think like 100. I'll consider a squad. 80, I'd probably take 1 or 2.
I think one. I think is actually good because it's an infiltrating unit. But Nurglings take up a lot of space in the infiltrating unit.
Yeah, if they're not cheaper than Nurglings and a Beast of Nurgle, I'm unconvinced I'm interested. I also don't feel bad about the thing you have to remember as well. Infiltrating units that don't scout are really bad on a lot of GW layouts. Like where are you infiltrating them on 4 and 6, buddy? I don't know what you want to do with them. Where are they going?
Right.
Like there's just not a place to put them. Without scout, they don't actually block a lot of scout moves from your opponent. Like the reason scouts are so strong is because they have scout, because they can get back to safety after they do the block. For Red Corsairs, they're just going to stand there, and if you're playing the Masters, you do have a redeploy, which sure is nice, so you can pull them to safety afterwards. But if you want to actually block a Kazakin rush or something like that, they're just going to die. You would rather have a Nurgling squad to do that. That's 40 points because you don't care if it dies to do that. Whereas with these guys, if they're 110, 120 points, they're just going to die and not solve the problem.
Right. Also, it's really hard to chump block with an 115, 120 point unit. Like, that's not good. That's not a good thing to block with. All right. Next up is from Beginner Sam. Is a 200 model list the best counter meta right now?
So it's not that it's bad, but it is very, very conscious that Guard and Ultramarines do not struggle with that kind of list even a little bit. Ultramarines particularly have, like, especially with the recent trend towards playing Repulsor Executioners, a withering amount of firepower, and Guard are the same. A lot of their little firepower, like specifically las guns and things like that, are very, very good into you the second you start putting that stuff on the table. Yes, it's a thing that Catan will struggle with 100%, and potentially scintillating as well, even though scintillating is not that bad into it. It can be. You have to be real careful with that kind of list.
There are also other predators in the meta outside of the top armies.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you going to do? You're
those
going to kill
things.
Custodes with that?
Yeah. Next up is from Ape of Justice, which is, so what's the Catan Mirror Breaker?
Rolling better. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. That actual matchup looks very cursed to me personally. Marcus,
It
the
looks
bad player.
unpleasant. Yeah.
Yeah. Marcus, the bad player, has the next question, which is, do you think the new Defiler has enough guns on it? It's almost half a Repex. It could have more guns.
Something. Big guns never tire. That's Huron's like entire thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Also, it's very funny that one Defiler head is basically inside of the thing's chest for one of the guns, like the plasma cannon. Jack has the next question, which is, what exactly is the secret sauce that made Guard broken? I think reroll ones is just so good.
The reroll ones and ones is really good, but it's actually the order efficiency that made them push it over the top. Or the ability to have your orders being anything you want all the time, and then also being able to reorder whenever you want, not at restricted timings, has allowed Guard to have effectively, your opponent has to play around all of the orders all of the time. They have to assume that everything is plus OC and everything is plus movement, because at any time it could be, which you already had to do, but there's now much lower downside to doing that. Also, a bunch of stuff that you were firing into lethal hits didn't really matter into. So when you're firing into like infantry specifically, the lethal hits wasn't doing a ton, right? If you're winning on like 2s and 3s with plasma guns and things like that, lethal hits wasn't really doing much. But once you add in real 1s and 1s instead, suddenly, no, you are doing that, while also having better order efficiency to convert more of the hits to wounds. Lethal hits has definitely diminished the ability to kill big things, but it's not that much worse, and there's still a strat for it. So there's still ways to get, like, if you need the one big thing gone, you can still have your Dorn or your Shine Squad with lethal hits. It's not like it's gone, it's just more limited. Reinforcements is a really good stratagem, but reinforcements was also very centralizing of your CP, and good people were capable of playing around it even if it wasn't always super easy. And I think the plus orders thing, I personally think the nerf I would recommend to Grizzled is changing it to be characters with enhancements get +1 order. So you have to bring one of the enhancements to get the extra order, and then some points choices is what I would look at. I think Grizzle's stupid.
Tanks also love reroll 1s to hit and 1s to wound. Just absolutely. The Rogel Dorn chassis loves the shit out of that.
The Dorn with a reroll to hit, wound, and damage, and reroll 1s to hit and wound is so fucking efficient. Yeah.
And horses love it as well because they can get to hitting really effectively.
Horses also love being able to be like movement 15 and hit on 2s.
Yep. Yeah. I think people underestimate how good reroll 1s to hit and to wound if they're on an objective.
Yeah, it's a like 40% efficiency increase on everything you fight with. The fact that the snap to it can effectively function as a +1 to hit stratagem, advance and charge stratagem, right? Because it's +3 move, which is most of the time what an advance will be. A flip and objective stratagem, right? Either for you or for your opponent. It's like the Wrath of the Rock. You must be in engagement range to get +1 OC enhancement or stratagem, except it doesn't have any of those requirements. And it can also be a +50% shots stratagem. Like, it can be all of those things at the same time, and it can be multiple of them. Like, if you want to, you could do that. You could do it, snap to it in the movement phase, snap to it in the shooting phase, snap to it in the charge phase, snap to it in the fight phase. You could do it 4 times to do that. Any one of the best of those stratagems up to 4 times.
Yeah. Willow has the next question, which is, how do I convince my wife, lifelong Liberator Assault Group stan, to take Rage Curse to an event next weekend?
Liberator is not that much worse than Rage Cursed. I know Anthony likes to say that it is, but I don't personally think it's that big a difference. Rage Cursed is much better off the charge, and it has better fight phase control. That is feeling less and less relevant. Like, there is less reason to need fight phase control right now. So potentially there is an argument that might not be a thing you care about. I don't think you really need to. I don't think the detachments are close enough But Scout 6 is really good. It's really good at getting closing the distance on melee on ranged armies. So I still think I prefer Rage Cursed Onslaught. But you have to want the tools, right? You have to want the fight first. You have to want the scout. You have to want the fight on death. You have to want the sticky objective. Those are all things that are very good against shooting armies. The damage output can be generally better off the charge. And if those are things that you value, then great. If they're not, Liberator does do a lot of that stuff as well. So
I think trying Rage Cursed at an event is actually just worthwhile if there's no other reason that you're taking Liberator in particular.
I mean, the genuine answer is that you should convince her to try it for like a practice game and see how she feels about it, rather than just opening it for an event if they're not comfortable with that. Right? Like you shouldn't push someone to do something they're not comfortable with, especially if their goal is just to have a good time at the tournament. Maybe playing the thing that's comfortable is more valuable, right? But try a practice game with it and see how it feels.
All right. Ritz has the next question, which is, why did Kasserkin shoot so hard and grizzled? A guy who lost 15 Deathwing Knights to 2 bricks of Kasserkin this weekend.
All the stuff we just spoke about. Lethal hits didn't do that much on melted guns and plasma guns, so it didn't matter. And now they have real ones to hit and wounded instead.
I will say, my funny experience is that I had 2 units of Kasserkin shoot a possessed and leave 1 possessed there. Which was very funny.
Kasserkin are a lottery, but they're not that. The lottery is very weighted in your favor when you add in rerolls.
Right. Jason K has the next question, which is, if you were a Necron player prepping for the inevitable nerf and generally trying to play a list with 1 Catan or less, where would you start?
Star Shatter, Triple DDA, Silent King, and go from there. Maybe a Wraithbrick.
Yeah,
it's not interesting. It's the good and then like Amatar. The good Necron stuff hasn't really changed. If you wanted to play, if you were playing Warriors before, they're still good. If you're playing Wraiths before, they're still good. If you're playing TDAs before, they're still good. Try that.
Yeah, just try putting the Catan in that, and you'd probably do fine. Then I pulled a question from Yates from the other older thread, which is, how do y'all think GW should approach balancing big base units like Fulgrim or Defilers?
Give them rules that let them be less punishing interact with terrain. Do not make them undercosted or overpowered, because it will make them vastly disparate depending on terrain format and what layout you play on. A unit should feel roughly as good to use on a WG terrain board as it does to play on GW layout 8 as it does to play on GW layout 7. The fact that there is some GW layouts like that, it will feel unplayable. It just needs to have ways to interact with the terrain that isn't incredibly punishing, and then it will not feel as bad.
Just give it the Knights thing where you can go through a terrain piece and roll a d6 and on a 1-year battle shocked or something like that. Just do that, guys.
I honestly think that rule should just also have you you have to end your move in base contact with the terrain feature or something like that. So like you can go through it, but you stop. You don't get full distance. But
that would make sense. I kind of like that.
Or like half movement, but half movement to a minimum of can get to the other side. Something like that.
There are 2 funny questions in chat that I think are kind of amusing. One that we're going to do because it's super chat, and we promise. KR Quinn, thank you for the $2 super chat. Custodes axes possibly worth it in Shield Host.
I mean, it only gets you to strength 9, right? Which doesn't actually change the breakpoint into a lot of stuff. The lower AP is awkward. The damage characteristic being 3 is nice. I could see you running like 1 squad of guard with them to try to be like your. But I don't even think the math is that good on them actually killing the Catan if you did it. Because like you go in with 5 guard. You have are the axes? Are they 5 attacks as well, or do they go down to 4 to run the axe?
I think they're 1 less attack, but I will check.
Because I think they used to be 1 less attack and hit 1 worse. Oh, Custodian Guard can't even run.
1 less attack. They still hit on 2s, but they're 9-1-3.
Custodian Guard can't even run them. It has to be Wardens, right? Or it's Wardens and Alaris. So I guess you'd be doing on Alaris. So they're 1 less attack. So you're talking on a squad of 5 of them, because presumably that's what you're doing. If we're trying to go for like a big kill unit on like a Catan, I guess 5. Yeah, so you're running, or you could do a 6. But so if you're running a 5-man, you've got 20 attacks. You're going to hit, hitting effectively on.
They hit on 2s.
1s because you're crit 5s. So with sustained, your expected value of hits is 24-ish. That sounds about right. So 24 hits, you're then wounding on 5s, you're rolling, so you're expecting about 13 wounds. They fail 7 saves rounding up, and then they take 14 damage for 10. Like, you don't even kill a Catan by making the change. I'm not sure that's worth it. Like, I feel like your plan to just do is something else. I don't know. It just doesn't seem... It doesn't seem like it gets over the line. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And they're so much worse into everything else. Like, they also shoot, but like, sure, but if they shoot and they do enough damage to kill the confidence value you're going to need to charge the Catan to like if your average damage into it is like 10, I'm gonna need to be 8 before I'm willing to charge it. And I'm fairly comfortable that the axes or the spears probably do close to that, because you're talking 25 attacks instead. Like, I don't think it's that much worse. I think you just have to like shoot it a little harder, and then, or like with something else as well. But then you're running spears, which are better to every other fucking matchup you're playing.
Yeah, I think.
God, the depression you would have when you charge a Victory Scar squad and did no damage and you got AOC'd into 2-ups, you'd just be like, wow, I don't know why I bothered playing today. Because you have to pick AP or crit 5s at the start of the battle round as well. Like, it's not like you know you're going to be connecting to the Victory Scar this turn, necessarily.
And then there was one other one. Should I run triple Storm Surge and
No
Hammerhead at the next GT?
Nope. No, you should not. Don't do that.
You can run a Storm Surge. I think
one is fine.
Okay.
One is okay. Do not play 3.
One will make your opponent question their Catan life choices because it will just kill a Catan.
The biggest reason to not play them is they don't fall back and shoot. That's a really big deal.
Agreed.
All right, Nathan, do you want to do
that? Is all of our questions. Yeah, so I'm going to do the wrap up right now. So if you join our most expensive tier, which is $15 a month, which is the Crisp High 5 tier, you get thanked at the end of every episode. You also get a bunch of in-person benefits that range depending on the host. I give out tokens at these events. So if you see me, I think the next major event I will be at, though, will be in August, but I'll see about going to something a little bit sooner than that as well. Oh, somebody cleaned up all the tabs. Oh, no. My tabs. They're all gone. Also, they changed my Zoom. I know.
I was so sick of them.
All right, we're going to go through here. Christopher the Deceiver has written my current diet plan, and the Nightbringer is driving the struggle bus into the coughing baby Irvine. Thank you to Willow Weeks. Thank you to Dan F. Thank you to Luke Harridan's taking the subway McCarthy. It's still funny. Thank you to David Shrug Emoji Clark. Thank you to Exhausted. Thank you to James H. Thank you to Colton, Dan F. Miller. Thank you to Fungus. Thank you to John V.A. Gang. Has anyone tried reasoning with the Catan? Thank you to Cam F. Dan Morton, Hogmoji. Thank you to Lady Malice's Footstool. Thank you to Josiah Gennell. Thank you to Frankie. Thank you to Isaac tonight on Stat Check. Nathan, oh no, my tabs. Anthony, here's the thing. Vanilla crushed out about Strength 5 chainswords. And Innis lost to guard in melee somehow. # washed Tarada. Thank you to YGWY. Thank you to Thomas. Challenged Ramon to do max push-ups instead of rolling off her first turn and lost for cohesion. I don't know if I said that name correctly. RHAMON. I'm sorry if I mispronounced
Ramon. Yeah.
Ramon. Okay, good. Thank you to Steven. What about 20 Warriors, 15-inch advance, and charging Ross? You know what? If you want to charge me with 20 Warriors, be my guest. Thank you to Tom, GorgonCon, Submarine Services H. Thank you to going to have to roll a 4++ to see if I survive my wife finding out I'm 3 of the Heresy Custodes boxes. Just roll 4s. How hard could it be? Thanks for being here, folks. Thanks to Floof. Happy holidays to the Statue crew. You know what a positive influence you all have been. Also, Slug My Cox. Thank you, Floof, for the continued support. We are well past the holidays, though, but I do appreciate it. Thank you to come with me on a Gucci adventure. Thank you to Nerfed for crimes committed by better players. Thank you to John Garza. Thank you to Henry. The term for a penguin gliding around on its stomach is called tobogganing, the wizard. Thank you to Penny the Penguin. Will be very sad if Static ends. Please do not make Penny the Penguin sad.
Wasn't that the one from last week?
Well, Henry changed theirs, but Penny has not changed theirs.
Okay, just checking.
Thank you to Matthew Payne Engine Aficionado, and thank you to Vivian. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and joining that tier. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and good luck at all of your events, unless you're playing Innis, in which case, bad luck to you in particular.
I don't think we need to wish anyone bad luck. That seems
true.
Unnecessary.
I don't know. I hopefully people understand, firmly tongue-in-cheek. Please have fun at your events and be good to one another.
I think everybody should smash it. Good luck. If you're playing Catan, just keep winning, guys. I'm rooting for all of you. Keep the numbers up. Let's drive this thing let's drive this nail in. I want Catan nerfed. I want them to be like 7 wounds, toughness 5 by the end of this month. All right, guys, I think we can do it. I think if Victory Scar can get nerfed twice in 6 weeks while being half as broken, Catan can go further.
Yep.
All right.
And on that note,
thank you so much for being with us this week. This has been episode 171 of Stat Check. Yriel did indeed come back from getting smokes. Unfortunately, he left the smokes as well as the grenades on his Starfang, and that's why it has all the keywords.
Bye-bye.